might be live.
Oh, am I live?
Yep, you are.
Okay. Hey, everybody. That was probably a really awkward intro for anybody that was watching. Welcome, everybody. It's me, Josh Welgus. You know me as Ghillie, and we are here with Wroth. It's here. We have a very, very shiny prototype to show you today, and we're kind of showing the very first instance of gameplay for Wroth here on this stream today. So thanks for joining us. Reminder that you can engage with us in the chat. We're going to try to answer questions as we go. I will note that the primary focus of this stream is to show you gameplay. And so we are going to immediately after this little intro, we're going to jump right into a game of Wroth with PvP taught by the man Manny Trembley himself. So I believe it'll be myself, Manny, and Andrew Santoro on camera for PvP. And then right after that, we're going to hop right into a game of co-op Wroth, which functions the same as solo Wroth with a few very, very, very modest changes. But Adam, Carlson, and Manny are going to walk you through cooperative Wroth. And so you're going to really get a taste of both the different main modes of this game, and we're really excited to show it off. So if you didn't see the Gamefound update that we put out this morning, just want to mention that the campaign again is launching on March 12th at 10 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time. There will be 10 strategist pledges available on the campaign. So we hope that we will see you there to try and snag one of those very, very mythic and famous and almost impossible to grab strategist pledges the morning of the campaign. So before we show off a bunch of gameplay, I do want to just make a bunch of caveats and commentary on this prototype. So while this is definitely the shiniest prototype we have ever had ahead of a campaign and the most complete, I would say, prototype we've ever had, there's a number of things already that we are aware of on this prototype that aren't quite right or that we do want to change, and that I'm certain as you see the game played, you'll have some comments and questions and what have you about them. And so we have put, we're putting together about 20 of these boxes to send to a variety of content creators, because that's the total amount of components that we ended up with after it was all said and done. But we are putting a big prototype notice in with every single copy of the game that we are shipping to content creators. And I want to walk you, the viewer, through a handful of those things at least, so that you know that we know some of this stuff isn't quite where we would like it to be in terms of either in terms of color or readability or quality or UX intuitiveness, all that kind of stuff. So the first thing I want to mention is we do have the big box here. We do have the big box. The final box, now that we have kind of the, most of the componentry ready to go. Yeah, sorry, hold it. I'm holding it up. I realize I'm holding it in front of the microphone. And I'm covering myself up. So this box, this is the depth and the shape. This is not going to be what the final box looks like. The final box is going to be about 2/3 this size, so the cover art will probably be reworked a little bit. I haven't told this to Manny yet, so I might be speaking out of turn. But the plan is probably to repurpose this box art to be landscape format, and it will be a little bit more svelte package when it is all said and done, and it's not going to be as tall, so it'll be about 2/3 the height that it presently is. So I wanted to mention that. In addition to that, though, and I'll grab it again, even though I was just holding up, the plan is to not have the title of the game on the box. We're going to leave this beautiful, beautiful cover piece as is. We are going to likely do a paper wrap around it with like game info on the back. Right now it's just a white box, and you've heard me talk already about this, the goal of this game being to be a much more mainstream title, a title that you would probably commonly see at your FLGS, that kind of thing. And for that reason, we do want to put the title of the game for store display on the cover of the box, but we're going to do that with a wrap instead of adjusting the actual literal graphic on the box itself. So note that. I think something that you're going to see right away. So these are the little troops. These are the little troops that we use in the game. They're little plastic gems. We had these very, very quickly made with our manufacturer Gameland right before Chinese New Year. They got us the best they could as fast as they could. And you're going to see right away on the map, the colors don't stand out enough, and they're kind of a little bit difficult to differentiate. So already, these are going to change. They're not going to be transparent like the ones that you're going to see on camera. They're going to be a solid, much brighter color so that you can easily differentiate. And in the final version of the game, they will all match the actual, every faction has unique troop dice, elite troop dice. You're going to hear about that in a minute. And your elite troop dice will match the color of the troops in the game. And we're still work to do on that to make that nice and consistent across the board. The other thing I will mention is there's a little bit of confusion around which elite troop dice we needed and how many and that kind of thing. Again, because these were very hastily printed right before everybody at the factory left for Chinese New Year. So you're going to see a variety, a mix, and I hope you enjoy it. A mix of both actual printed dice and sticker dice on camera, and some of you may not be able to always tell which are which, but just note that we are using some sticker dice for the purposes of this stream because we didn't get all of the dice with the heat transfer process and that whole thing, so just please note that. You're going to see text on these mats that's hard to read. We're going to fix that in the final version. You can't really tell on camera, but all the cards here were printed locally. They're not our PVC plastic cards that don't need to be printed. And then I think the last really important thing to mention is that all of the UX for the game is still very, very much in flux. We're making changes to the map to add iconography, to better differentiate deployment zones, that kind of thing. And then you'll see, and I'm breaking the rules here, but you'll see these mini chips on camera, and I'll have Santoro quickly cut to the overhead cam for this. But in the final version, we're going to do things like all of the ones will be the same color. Right now, you've got an orange background on this one, you've got a purple background on this one. They will all have the same background color in the final version of the game to make map readability much easier. So between that and adjusting the troop colors and all that kind of thing, hopefully, the final game will look even better than this prototype looks right now. I think that's all the really, really important stuff. Aside from that, things like the player references, all that, we whipped those up in a hurry. They're going to get a huge editing pass and a lot more polish and buttoning up before the final version of the game. And none of this, I don't think, on the table today represents anything with stretch goals. So there are some stretch goals in the campaign to do things like make the player mats a little bit bigger. There's even a big, big lofty stretch goal to potentially make the score tracker neoprene in the final product. One of the things, though, that has been a huge consideration for this game is, again, a more mainstream appeal in every capacity, and part of that is price point. So the MSRP of Wroth on final release is planned to be $65, and we're working really, really hard to stick to that price point, again, because we want to bring a new audience into the Chip Theory family. And so we do need to sell a certain amount of copies. This is not one of those smoke and mirrors stretch goals where we actually have already developed the content or something and we're just going to actually throw it in the box. Making this score tracker neoprene is expensive, and so we do need a kind of critical mass of purchases to make that happen in the final version, and you'll see that in the stretch goals when we launch the campaign. So I think that's kind of all the main. I'm going to check this thing real quick. I will also just mention we will have a prototype rulebook on the campaign, which is something that's a bit of a rarity for us. It's about 85% of the way there right now, and we will have that available for download as a part of the campaign. So one of the benefits of making a game that's not quite as heavy and crunchy and crazy as something like Too Many Bones or Elder Scrolls or Cloudspire or Burn Cycle is that we can actually, it's much easier to get the rules set in a very healthy place ahead of releasing the campaign for the game. So look forward to that on the campaign. I only see one question on my Q&A here, so I'm going to answer that. If you have any other questions for me, shoot them to us in a hurry, because I'm going to answer whatever I see on the screen, and then we're going to bring Manny in, and we're going to start playing Wroth. So the question that I see here is, will you be able to tell us anything about the add-ons for the campaign for this game? Yes, so right now for add-ons, it's we're planning to do a handful of things. One, the base game comes with 5 factions in the box. And again, neoprene is stock for those factions, etc. And then there are 2 factions, the Vena and the Paladin, that are going to be expansion factions that you can buy separately. So again, MSRP on the game, this is not the campaign price, but the MSRP on the game will be $65, and I think the MSRP on an expansion faction is $18. So that tells you a little bit about that. We are planning to do a set of metal troop tokens, if that is your thing, if you're into alloy dice and that kind of thing and you really want to bling the game out. We are planning to do a set of metal troops and metal troop tokens, and then we are planning to do an art book, not a graphic novel, but an art book for this game, just because we think Manny's art is just so unique and so stunning. And we've actually done a lot of additional artwork for the Gamefound video that we'll be launching with the campaign, or maybe just before the campaign if we have it in time to use it as a marketing tool before the game. And I think that's it. It's core box, 2 expansion factions, metal troops, and an art book. So those 5 things are on the campaign, and again, those metal troops, some people are really into that. Some people think it's ridiculous. That's totally your call. That's not for me to judge. And then will the mats have slots for dice like in TMB? No, they will not. And you'll see if you compare the difference between PvP and co-op, you'll kind of understand why that's the case. So the flip side of every faction has a flip side, depending on if you're playing PvP or solo co-op. And those 2 sides work fairly differently, and so getting dice slotted in doesn't work quite the same way. And to make that work on either side, you need to cut the whole, similar to the adventure maps from Too Many Bones, where you slot in the day counter. It's really important to have that symmetry. Symmetry is the wrong word, but that back-to-back printing needs to line up exactly, or like Dart in Too Many Bones. And that doesn't really work for this game because of the way that co-op and PvP function separately. So yeah, no die cutting on these mats. The benefit of that is it does make the mats a little bit cheaper to print, which again allows us to put them in stock in a $65 game, which is pretty rare aside from maybe one mat that you might see stock in other games. And let's see. What are the main mechanisms of the game and the theme? What kind of game is it? It's an area control game. I'm going to let Manny, when we bring him in here in a second, talk a little bit more about that side of things. It's an area control game. There's dice drafting, and then there's asymmetry in each unique faction has a little bit different thing that they can do. And these dice actually represent units in the game, and they are not rolled. But then there are a number of dice that are rolled for drafting and that kind of thing. So you're going to see what the game's all about when we actually play it for you. So I'm gonna leave discussion on that a little bit light, just because you'll see that. The overall thesis, and I may let Manny talk about this a little bit more, but we've talked about this a few different times. The thesis behind this game was Manny doesn't like area control games. Full stop. He doesn't like them. So anytime that he has a genre or a type of game or a mechanism or whatever that he has not found a version of that mechanism or that genre that he enjoys, he sets out to fix that, basically. So this is an area control game that Manny designed because he doesn't like area control games. So Manny likes this game, and he likes this area control game. So if you've never played an area control game before that you enjoyed, maybe you'll end up feeling similarly. I don't know. You'll find out here in a little bit. And then, will you guys be bringing CTG Kids games to Canada soon? That's not a Wroth question. Likely not, simply because we did not design those kids games ourselves. So we are licensing them from Gameland, again, our manufacturer for these games. Right now, they are still a USA only thing. I don't know that we have any plans to bring them to other countries just yet. We're kind of trying to slow roll them. We almost viewed it as starting a new company. So, but there will be more news on the future of CTG Kids and future titles and that kind of thing in the coming months. And you can look forward to that. And maybe it will involve other countries. I think right now it does not, though, just full disclosure. And then will all stretch goals be a part of the retail version? That is always the plan. That's always the plan. So one of the things that we feel very passionate about, we tried to be the anti-FOMO company. Fear of missing out, if you're not familiar with FOMO. We tried to be the anti-FOMO company, and then our stretch goals, again, like we set them because they're not smoke and mirrors. If we make a certain amount of money on a game, on a campaign, that gives us the confidence to move forward with putting more stuff in the box. So all the stretch goals unlocked in the campaign are always made permanent in our titles. Last thing that I will talk about before I bring in Manny is we don't have any announcement on language additions just yet. We are pitching the game to language partners here in the next week or two and working to get confirmation on whether or not we will have language partners on board for the campaign. This stream may actually be a big part of that because our language partners haven't seen this game played yet either. So this is a new thing. This is a new thing for them as well. And then last question I see, what is included in the Stratus tier? Stratus tier gets you the base game of whatever we crowdfund forever. So it's a very expensive pledge tier, but it gets you a copy of every game that Chip Theory brings to crowdfunding forevermore. And we have lots of those folks on board already, which is kind of fun and kind of crazy, and something that other game companies certainly are not doing. And we're kind of proud of our commitment to that. We do about 10. We do 10 per campaign, unless we accidentally don't mark them as only 10, like we did on our Hoplomachus Victorum campaign, where we ended up with 300 of them. So that was fun. Or something. So there you go. Okay, we are going to take a real quick break. We're going to take a real quick break to get Manny and Santoro. Oh, hi.
I want to say it just in case we lose people in the break. This game will be at Dice Tower West in the Hot Games room. If you're interested in checking it out, it's there. Also, you can always say hi to me. I will also be there.
Hi.
Hello. You get to do it. The days I'm here. Also, someone asked if this will be at GamesCon in Canada. I don't think so, unless you know otherwise. I don't think we have any plans for that.
Right, no.
Currently no.
Yeah, currently not at GamesCon.
Cool.
If you happen to be one of the 5 people that attend Con of the North here locally, here in Plymouth, Minnesota,
it will be there.
We will have it on Friday at Con of the North, so you can play it there as well.
It won't be playable there.
It won't be played. You cannot play it there.
Look at it.
You definitely can't play it. That would be
touch it and look at it, but we don't have the space to make it playable.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go.
Break though.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to cut to break. I'm going to bring in Manny. We're going to get
Riffle.
What was that?
Riffle.
Oh. Riffle will be available next Tuesday for Too Many Bones fans. FYI. We sent out an email about that yesterday. Riffle will be available for 48 hours starting Tuesday. All right. I'm going to cut. We're going to bring Santoro in. We're going to roll in a couple more chairs. We're going to bring Manny Trembley, the man himself, in to teach a game of Wroth, and you're going to see some PvP gameplay for this new game. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. And we're back, maybe?
We're back?
We're back, I think.
There's a little bit of a delay.
Okay,
But
yeah.
I think we're back.
We have the stream going. Oh, there we go. Okay.
There we are.
Yeah,
Oh,
all right. We are live. Welcome back. Let's play some Wroth. Who are you?
I'm Manny Trembley.
Wow.
Yes.
I've always wanted to meet you.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You never have until this moment.
This is a big moment for me. So, Manny, one of the questions that got asked right before we cut to break was, what are we doing here? Like, what's the theme? How did this come to be before you dive into the rules?
Sure. That's a valid question. So 2 Octobers ago, my boys and I did a 24-hour game making day. And the object of the day was to invent a brand new game together. And so each kid made their own game, and I created a game, and then we worked on this together, and Wroth was created that day. So we had a fully playable prototype in our house, and that was 2.5 years ago almost.
Wow.
Yeah. And at the time, I wanted to make an area control game that I would want to play and that my boys would want to play. They love Risk. They absolutely love Risk. And I will say that I do not love Risk as much as they do.
That makes you right there with 99% of the world, I think.
Yes. So I thought, well, can I make a version of Risk that I want to play and that I could get my boys to stop playing Risk and play something to me that would be more fun.
Right.
So that was kind of the origin of Wroth. So an area control game that invited more chaos and dynamic play within that kind of strategic, I'm going to make deliberate choices. I want to be intentional. I want to optimize. But then the chaos of the world and the characters and the factions, you have to deal with that as well.
Sure. So the theme is what?
The theme is like neon fantasy. Like I thought to myself, what is Lord of the Rings? But everything was like hot pink and like crazy lime green and neon colors everywhere. And that's kind of I don't know, it's a habit I have that I really, really like bright colors everywhere. In any game I'm working on, I always want bright colors. And so I love the fantasy setting. I love dwarves and elves and orcs and, goblins and all that kind of stuff. But I wanted to kind of put my own, I don't know, 80s pop twinge on it, I guess.
Yeah. I think something that gets called out in your artwork all the time is the color work. And as somebody who can barely put together a coordinated outfit to wear to work every day, the art is and the color is just awesome. I love it.
Is Wroth a kid's game? It can be played by kids.
It could definitely be played by kids.
It is not intended as
it is definitely, it's not a kid's game.
Yeah.
But I think again, part of my personal desire is I want games that can be played by my kids. And then my wife's dad, who lives with us, he's 80. So we're playing games with an 80-year-old, a 12-year-old, and then me and my wife in the middle. And
so we'll put that age range on the box.
Yes, it's 11 to 80.
Can't play it at 81.
No, you
anymore.
cannot. You're all done. You have to retire from Wroth at 81.
So neon-soaked fantasy.
Yes.
And is there a reason we're fighting? Is there a...
Yeah, there's kind of a pomp and circumstance to this regional battle where the different factions and peoples come together to battle for dominance over this part of the world. And it's like a display of power and prowess.
Okay.
And then some of the factions have different intention than others, like the Uglon. You could kind of liken them to the orcs and goblins. They also joined this, but they have more of maybe a darker twinge to their desire within it.
And actually, the co-op and solo started as you only fought against the Uglon.
Correct.
And we've changed that a little bit, and now you can fight against every faction. But
it's kind of like the co-op was made with the intention of like, if any one faction's like, no, this is ours, then everyone else is all right. Fine, we got to put you in your place.
Gotcha.
We're going to make sure you don't own the hill.
Right on, right on. And then what does Wroth mean, the word?
So that's kind of fun. The initial name of the game, I wanted to do like King of the Hill, Koth, or something like that. And then I looked up and there was a bunch of games that all use that acronym. And I'm like, oh, I'm not going to do that. And so then I was looking up different words and Wroth came up and Wrath. And I like that Wroth is Old English for wrath.
Mm-hmm.
And no one uses the word Wroth. And it's actually even kind of funny when you say it. It almost feels like you're stumbling in your mouth a little bit. That's kind of how I feel. Wroth.
Yeah.
I thought it felt very apt for the people who are very willing to wait for a year and then like go do this proper battle.
Yes,
with
yes,
proper
it's,
players.
yes, it totally like
math,
in
but
this
a
old
proper old English
yeah,
way.
a proper old English battle. It's not quite as bad as line up on your side, line up on your side. We're going to shoot each other, but it's very
No,
similar
why
to
do
that.
people
Like
do that?
I'm going to come here, you're going to come here, and then we're going to fight over these regions.
Yeah. All right, great. Well, let's jump into some PvP. So again, we are playing with 3 of the 5 factions, although we're playing, we are.
Yep,
Okay.
yep.
3 of the 5 factions that are in the base game. There are 2 additional factions in the base game, the Runin and the Uglan that were previously mentioned. And then, as I mentioned in the intro, the Vena and the Paladin are expansion factions that will be sold outside the base. So, but we are playing with 3 base game factions, and I'll just let you take it away on teaching us what the heck is going on. I will say, I mostly remember the rules to this. I've played it twice over the course of the last like 7 months. Santoro is very up on the rules, but we are going to have we're going to basically again teach from scratch because we know that none of you know anything about how to play this game. So
I'll say as well, we are going to have like a finished produced how to play video to go with the campaign. This is live teach, so it's going to be helpful to see us play. But if you have further questions, we'll get to them in a how to play video.
Yeah, and as mentioned, a prototype rulebook will be available on the campaign, which again is not common for Chip Theory, which is great.
Yes.
So anyway,
and yes, this is solo PvP co-op. We are currently doing PvP.
Correct.
Take it
Yes.
away, Manny.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Top down, please.
Top down. Stop looking at my face. All right. So, in Wroth, it's an area control game where we are going to be battling over regions to gain control and or dominance. That's going to earn us victory points, which are designated. Yeah, so we got our victory point tracker here. And then on the board, we've already pre-laid out. These are VP bonus areas. So there would be 11 of these total tokens. We would shuffle them up, and then we would randomly place these. So these have all been pre-placed. Yeah, so the top down, right? They should probably focus so the camera can read them. Right.
And I did place them randomly.
Yes. So these now represent the region values. So to control this region, you're going to gain 3 victory points, 1, 2, etc. The tokens that have little icons on them are region bonuses. So if I control this island over here, I'm going to be able to attack at the start of each turn. So that's important for like deciding, do I want to control or dominate certain regions? What's more important to me? And every time we play, these values are going to change. There's only 1 3 in the entire set, I believe. There's a handful of 2s and then a bunch of 1s, and they have different values as well. So after we've all picked our factions, we determined our starting player is going to be over here, Andrew and the Alden. We each get 25, call them just basic troops. And they're represented by these sweet little hex cubes. They're not cubes if they're hexes. They're little hexes.
yeah.
Little hexes.
Also up top, everything prototype here that you're seeing.
Yes, yeah, that's very important to note is that it is all prototype. And then each faction has their own elite troops that are represented by these cubes. You can call them dice, but they're not rolled. They just track health values.
We'll call them cube hexes.
Cube hexes. There you go. It's perfect. And then each of your elite factions, each of your elite troops have specific game rules. They have cost to recruit, and they have victory point bonuses noted if they do in fact have victory points. The other thing to note is every faction has a feat. They have a once per game special ability they can do, and once they do it, they flip it over. And they don't have it for the rest of the game. Okay, so to start the game, we're each going to take 5 troops and put them in a deployment zone. So take 5 of your troops, we're going to put them in a deployment zone, and this will represent, this is the start of a round. Okay, also during the start of a round, we have these gray all-seeing dice. So we each roll ours. Place them on your board. Okay. Now, these dice are a once per round ability or action you can take during your turn. You cannot do these outside of your turn. And if you don't do them during the round, they are forfeit. You don't get to save them for next round. Also, as a part of the starting round, everyone gains 1 Cora, which is the resource of the game. And these represent kind of like little gems or currency to be able to recruit troops or to be able to pay for different effects. As in, like the Alden over here have a volley ability. It does require 2 Cora, but it allows them to do something as opposed to deploy troops. Okay, so we've deployed our troops. We've rolled our all-seeing die. We have our Cora. Now we're going to roll 2 dice, 2 action dice per player, plus 1. These dice are going to be rolled to create the dice drafting pool of actions. So we roll them in here. We have a whole bunch. I don't know where they go. We're going over here. Is this where you want your dice?
Yes, please.
Okay. So we'll sort them into kind of groups. And then starting with Andrew, he gets to draft the first die.
Yep, so the faces on these, this one will gain that player a Cora when they use it.
You don't move them up to the top of the tracker. If you can.
Oh, there you go.
You can see it on camera.
Okay. So the little green one corresponds with Cora. You gain 1 Cora by spending that. These will deal a damage to region you occupy
or adjacent
region. And then this will deploy 2 troops to your deployment zone, or you can move 2 troops to an adjacent.
Correct. So drafting begins.
Yep. So I will draft a movement die here.
I'm going to take a Cora.
I'm going to take that movement because it's special.
And then back to Andrew. And we obviously only have the same face again. No. There's 1 remaining die here. That die in subsequent rounds or future rounds, that will go to the person in last place. So there's kind of a little slight catch-up mechanic that allows the person last to gain 1 extra action during a round. Now, if 2 of us are tied for last place, nobody gets that die. Okay. So now we're going to continue. Now going back to Andrew, he's going to use one of his actions.
Mm-hmm. So I can choose to deal damage, which I cannot do because everyone is currently in deployment zones, which cannot be targeted with damage.
Correct. Now, what you can do with that is if you have a die that has no value or you feel like it's not worth using, you can ditch it to add 1 troop to your deployment zone.
I think that is what I'll end up doing, but I'm going to use this movement to move 2 troops into an adjacent zone. And adjacent from deployment zone is going to be here, here, or here for me.
Or here, here, or here.
Ah, yes.
So if you think about the map in terms of elevated states, we all exist in the deployment zone on the ground. From there, you'll go up 1 level to each island and the outer ring of here. Then this would be level 2 up and level 3 up. So everyone from deployment zone is adjacent to regions 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6.
And we, again, as I mentioned in the intro, there have already actually been some UX changes to the map that we didn't have time to get printed. So that will be much more intuitive in the final version. We realize that may be hard to visualize as you're playing it right now. Yep.
I'll also say the dark troops on the dark map, the colors do correspond with the player mat. It's not a mistake there. It is just going to be a little hard to see from camera perspective. In person, you could clearly see them.
Yep.
And these are just the most poppingly different colors, so we chose these.
Yep.
So I'm going to use my movement. It reads move 2 troops to an adjacent region. Can I split that movement?
No.
Got it. An adjacent region. I will pop them
cheating.
both. Just want to make sure. Or be difficult. I'm going to move them into the damage region.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so now I'm going to use one of mine. I will gain a Cora. We'll set it over here.
Oh, yes.
That gets me 1. Now, during my turn, I can do any number of actions. I can recruit troops. I can recruit as many as I have resources to do. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to spend 2 to add one of my Stellan to my deployment zone. Each troop has unique abilities, but when deploying, it's always to your deployment zone unless otherwise stated in the elite troop text. Okay.
I am going to move my troops to here because it's worth 3 points, and I'm going to win. And then I'm also going to... No, I'm going to wait for that.
Okay.
Never mind.
Okay, so then it goes back to Andrew.
So I don't have any targetable folks right now, so I will spend this die to deploy a guy. Boop.
Okay, that sounds good. I'm going to do the same.
And I will do this.
Okay. Now you have a 2x. That allows you to do the action die 2 times. So you could now add a second one if you want, or you could have done your move deploy twice.
I will...
We could go back and pretend like you did it when you should have.
No takesies backsies. I'm very, very passionate about that.
Okay.
A hex cube played is a hex a hex cube laid is a hex cube played.
There you go.
Sure.
Perfect. Love it. Okay, so then technically you used your gray.
Yep.
And that effectively ends the round. Now, obviously, Andrew and I both have these double damage, all-seeing dice that we were not able to do or use during the first round. And sometimes that happens.
Specifically because we cannot attack.
Correct. You
deployment zones.
cannot attack people in their deployment zone, or you cannot attack from a deployment zone to a region.
Oh, I didn't know that one.
Yes.
That's good to know.
Yeah, it's kind of like timeout.
Yeah.
Everyone's in timeout when they're
Well,
down
everyone's
here.
very honorable. They
It's
don't want
very true.
There's
There's
a
a lot
people
of
coming off the boat.
There's a lot of pomp and circumstance here.
Yeah.
Manny, what is that at the top of the victory point track? What's happening there?
Perfect.
Maybe cut over to that, Amanda,
Yeah.
if you can.
The detail here.
So this right here is an action track. You start with a token on what we kind of call the all move or all maneuver. And I can sacrifice both of my action dice in a turn, or 2, in case I were in last place. I would sacrifice 2 of them, and I can move this to anywhere on this map that's not covered and take that action instead of the 2 dice that I have.
Got it.
And there will be times where we will want to do that. And there's almost a little bit of a game of chicken, because the all move seems to have more value to people at the early stages. And so the first person to move it off here kind of gives it to another person.
Gotcha.
So there's a little bit of jockeying there.
Gotcha.
Also, once you're in last place, you start getting an extra die. So you
Exactly. So then it's like you're still getting your 2 actions per turn, but you can pick one.
Sure.
So
one thing to note, this has the old symbol for Korra as well.
It does.
That is a Korra.
yes, good catch. Okay, so that ends the round. Now we're going to be starting a new round. The first player marker passes. We're going to, normally we would score for each region, but we do not score at the end of the first round. So, but we will, at the start of the second round, gain region bonuses. So in this case, you actually don't have anyone nearby, so you cannot fight.
Yep. I was really hoping someone would get in there.
Yes, yes. Okay, so then we would add 2 troops to our deployment zone. We would roll the gray die, our all-seeing die again. Okay.
2x.
Okay. We would gain 1 Korra to start each round again. I'll take 1, thank you. Okay. And then I think that then we roll the action dice.
Roll better this time, please.
I did.
Thank you.
Oh.
The player mats will not have holes punched for the dice. And that is because they
No,
are
double-sided.
dual-sided. So you'll see here the Pauldane have the PvP version and the solo
Yes.
version. So
And
dice
everything
holes do
needs
not
to
match
line up on
Yeah.
both sides when it's die cut, and it does not work for this game.
Yes. Okay. So we have a much more robust menu this time.
Robusto.
So I do see that sweet yellow,
I
which
sure
I think
wish
I
was going
might.
first this round.
Yes. So I think I will take that. And now,
But I wanted that. I'll take the arrows, please.
the arrow. Okay. So now specifically that die symbol means, think of it like a drop ship. You're taking 2 from your board, 2 troops, and you can add them to wherever you currently occupy.
Yep. Sure, you got to have troops there to send the flare
Yes,
up.
yep.
but-
You got to you can reinforce an area. So a Cora for yourself. I'm gonna take this attack.
And then you want to movement.
Yep.
And then I want to movement. and
Okay,
then this
perfect.
movement is...
Okay, so I'm going first this round. So what I'm going to do is first use my gray die to gain a Cora. Now I have 2. I'm going to then take and deploy a Christen. And then I will use my action die, which allows me to take all my troops from a single region, the deployment zone counts, and I can disperse them however I want to any adjacent regions. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to put him and 2 more here. Actually, I think you're going to jump in here, so I'm going to double down on this region. I'm going to put 3 here, and then I think I'm going to jump up there.
Okay.
Okay, so that's the end of my turn.
Now, question. So
Mhm.
I have this double arrow
Mhm.
die that allows me to, again, we just said drop ship
Mhm.
troops from my deployment zone.
Yep.
How does that work? Is there any difference with elite troops, or is that
Correct.
just...
So that symbol can only take your common troops,
Mhm.
non-elite, and
Mhm.
add them to a deploy or a region that you occupy.
Got it. Okay. So I'm going to do a couple things. One, it's placed in area. So I'm going to spend 2 Cora to buy 2 trappers. That's allowed, right? You
Mhm.
can buy 2 in one turn.
Sure can.
And when trappers are deployed, they're deployed. This is something that's unique to the Coda. They're deployed to a zone that I already
Can you
occupy.
hand me one?
Mhm.
Just so I can
Yeah.
show.
Yep. So
Can
I'm
you
going
show
to put.
detail real quick. I mean, they have this little bear face, and then on the back they have their what the action happens when they're revealed.
Mm-hmm. And we don't get to know what that is.
Yes.
So when he places,
so you should shuffle those.
yeah,
up.
he has 3. He has 3 types of traps he can set, and those trigger when any enemy moves into that region.
The current price point for this is 65.
This is the MSRP. Yep. So again, it'll be cheaper on the campaign, but the MSRP is set at 65. But again, all the mats and everything come stock, and there's a lot of content. All the modes are stock in the box, so you get solo, co-op, and PvP. Well, solo and co-op again run on the same system. So yep. And I'm going to put those both here to stop you.
Those are I'm already there.
I know.
You can't stop me from moving. I already moved.
I know, but I'm gonna destroy you. Just wait.
Okay.
Just wait.
Right.
I'm gonna use my all-seeing die. I don't know the strategy for this game, by the way. Just so we're clear.
It's become
and
quite
I've never
apparent.
played.
Did you spend these?
Yes,
Is that what
I
you did?
spend-
Okay. All right.
yeah, these are spent. I've played the guild before, but I played them in co-op, and then I think I played the Vena the very first time I ever played this,
yeah.
and I played. In all cases, I played them poorly. I am likely to do that again here. Okay.
If you bet on Ghillie, it's a bad bet.
I'm trying to keep Santoro out of like getting involved in this area, and I plan to destroy Manny here shortly, which I will fail.
I'm
at.
happy to let you
That's
two fight
legit.
it out.
So, fun fact:
Yes.
things like the trappers have a special rule that says they must be attacked last for their faction. So I have to get through both of your little guys here before I can start attacking your trappers.
Got it. Okay, I'm going to use my 2x. So I did that with my all-seeing die. So that doesn't count as my. No, I didn't do that with my all-seeing die. I'm making stuff up.
You can 2x
Yes.
something.
Yes, I'm going to 2x, moving 2 troops from my mat to an area I already can do.
All
Which
in on
there's
that
this one right here. So we're just gonna fight here for a while.
Yeah.
We're gonna give up every other
That's
region
fine
just
with
so we
me.
can fight.
Yep.
Happy to
And
hear.
so my all-seeing die has been used, and this die has been used.
Yep. And so, fun fact: the 2x means you do the action twice, so you're not actually creating one action. You're doing it 2 different times. So if you had troops over here, you could have then gone into both of them.
Gotcha.
So,
Okay.
just an important differentiation there.
Mhm.
Okay.
let me see here. Oh, you
I
get to keep.
I don't know
your
what
gray
those
die.
are. I
Oh,
used
but
mine
you
already.
set it aside. Gotcha. All right.
Now, you don't know what those are. Do I basically, when a troop that moves into there, I just decide of the 3 which I would like?
No.
Oh
Like,
no, they're on the back
they're
side.
on the
Yeah. Okay, I didn't even look at that.
Yeah, you should. Here,
I am playing this faction.
How about
poorly,
you
as I mentioned.
predetermine what trap you want to lay?
Maybe the last faction you should have played is the,
You know what?
the
It
hidden
doesn't-
information.
I mean,
We're all learning together. This is
They're actually one of
Yeah.
the simpler factions. Just FYI.
You're just playing it badly. Should that
As
guy
usual.
actually be at 2 health?
He's a 2. Sorry, yeah, you're
Okay.
correct.
Just want to make sure I didn't miss damage.
Nope.
Because I'm happy to have him damaged. I'll spend 2 core to pop out an elegant.
Okay.
Or
Nope.
elegant.
Your special rule with them.
When deploying an elegant, you may deploy a lithe troop as well.
So it gives you extra
Certainly do
reinforcement.
that. That does not count as my action. I'm spending some Cora. I can't attack from deployment. So we're going to move 2 true. Yeah, we're going to gain a Cora. I'm going to spend that die.
Okay. All right. So, Maiko, I have an attack. So, because I have troops in both of these regions, I could choose to. I could attack the Coda here, or this is an adjacent region to this region. So I could go over here and pick off one of these guys.
Yeah.
But that would just be
You
mean.
can start that fight.
Since you want to fight, so let's fight.
I want you to leave
So
and never come back.
So I'm defeating a single troop with this attack die,
Okay.
and it is removed from the game. It doesn't go back to your board.
R.I.P.
Yes, we all have limited. We all started with 25 troops. That's our limit.
Part of our armistice, we said we
Now, there
would
might
only come
be-
with a certain amount of troops.
Yes, we agreed. We only show up with 25 guys with swords. That's it. Okay, so I'm done with that. And here you go.
Okay. I'm going to deploy 2 troops into.
Your deployments.
No. Get out.
Boom.
Get
2 troops.
out.
So, fun
Yeah.
fact: because I had attacked in this region with a Stellan, I would have stolen a Cora from you, but
I
you
have
had
no
none,
Cora.
which is why I didn't say it. But just fun fact.
Gotcha. Good to know.
It's a
Yeah,
really fun
there
fact.
is again the amount of asymmetry in the game is not overwhelming. It's pretty easy to get a grip on, and
Yep.
I didn't sit down and like look at what I can even do before we start this game for the record. Again, but there is enough to make some pretty significant strategic decisions based around what your faction can do. So yep.
Okay.
Let's see.
So
I moved. Yeah, I put 2.
okay.
I put
So
you
then
guys,
you're done,
for
and
my-
then
yep.
I'm gonna spend my 1 last Cora there to pop out one of these fellas, who place them in any region I occupy.
Yep.
Let's pop them there. Why not?
Sounds good.
And they cannot be deployed unless I have an elegant, which I do.
Yep.
And then we will do the deploy move, or we'll just move. We don't get to do both. We're gonna move in here, and then we're gonna use our all-seeing die to.
Yeah, you are. You're gonna
Pop,
zap
pop.
zap
Yes.
2 of my guys. All right, fine.
We sure are.
R.I.P.
And that's round
Yeah,
end, I
that's just-
believe, right?
I'm building a graveyard over here.
Okay.
So
Graveyard. Okay, so that concludes the round. Now we would score. So we would look at each region starting with number 1. There's no one here. Over here, I have 2, but I also dominate the region because there's no other opponents contesting. And also, my Christen, they get +1 victory point if they are in a region that I'm controlling. So I get 4 points for controlling that region.
now, with that said, as I was moving from my deployment zone to here, I'm kind of playing for the camera a little bit. I'm kind of being stupid to I knew if I moved troops here, I would dominate this region and I would score a point
Yes.
simply by moving 1 troop in here. I'm just trying.
He's
You
trying to
know.
be
Oh,
funny.
yeah.
He's
I
playing
s-
bad as a bit.
He's throwing the game.
I'm
into-
actually really good
It's
at
just
this
funny.
game, and I completely understand the coda
Yes, correct.
immediately. Yeah.
Can you play 2v2? Is that a thing?
Currently, that's not a mode, but
I
mean,
you
it'd
could
be
just combine point
I
values,
think you
honestly,
could.
right? Yeah, I don't. Unless there's balance issues.
yeah.
I don't.
I mean, I think
there
you would
be.
just be making your decisions together. Really,
Yeah.
is what it would be. There would only be 2
Yeah, you would
trackers on
just-
the victory point track.
It hasn't been tested,
No.
and similarly, like people have been asking about
Just
5-player,
toss it in the rule book.
and we haven't tested that yet either, to my knowledge, anyway.
No.
I think that one gets a little spicier because there's only 4 deployment zones, and people would have to stack.
Yeah, you'd have to
Meet
just kind of
required
be
to
like,
bring-
I'm here and you're here. And like,
Yeah.
we're gonna cuddle up.
Yeah, we're not planning on adding any additional official modes of play to the game prior to release right now. That's not to say it couldn't happen, but that's not the plan, and that's partially because we've worked really hard to. And I say we, it's Manny. Manny has worked very hard to get this really snappy and really balanced in its current state. And every time you add additional players or modes or everything, like it can throw that, especially when there's asymmetry involved, it can really throw the delicate balance off. So yeah.
Are we scoring at end of round?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
good.
we're scoring right now.
So
So
4.
I got my 4 there, 0, and we go here.
So I've got I dominate it, I control it, and I got a victory point bonus here, so I get 3.
3. Yep. Then we go to this region, and you bullied me out of here. So, but you don't dominate.
But I do have a bonus from that fella,
Correct.
so I've got another 3. So I'm up to 6.
So again, explain the difference between dominating and controlling.
Yeah. So to control is simply to have more troops than an opponent in a region. Dominating would be there are no other enemy troops in the region.
So controlling gets you the points.
Yep.
Dominating gets you the points plus 1.
Correct.
There you go.
Okay. So then we go over here to this heavily contested region, which currently I am losing because you decided to jump in here. So
right.
he gets 3 because you're not dominating.
Correct.
And your trappers do not give you a bonus.
Yeah, your trappers do not give you victory point bonus.
I mean, that's your opinion.
It's also the rules, but it's fine.
Whatever. Okay,
So,
so that
We're
ends the
currently
round.
Contested score. We got a 3, a 4, and a 6.
Here we go.
And again, so the first time that I actually played very similar to this, the first time we ever played PvP, where I was like obsessed with controlling the highest scoring region. That's generally a really bad strategy. You can see already, like spreading out and trying to get points from multiple zones. That's the way to get victory points in this game, generally speaking, at least from what I've from what I've experienced.
Yeah.
That said, I'm still going to keep fighting for this because
It's funny.
I hate Manny and it's fun.
There you go. That's good. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Okay, so at the start of a new round, we're going to pass the first player marker. We're going to roll our gray die. We're going to each deploy 2 troops to our deployment zone and gain 1 Cora. Okay.
And
Manny,
then-
when does this game end, by the way?
Well, you'll see on
'Cause
the
I hate
little.
it. I'm
Yes,
just kidding.
good. Currently, we're playing to 40 victory points.
Okay.
And it's the first and farthest over. So if multiple people go over, then
Yep.
it would be the farthest.
Okay.
And I need a drink of water.
This is a 2024 game. The campaign starts on March 12th.
Ooh,
Follow the
yes.
page right now. I should have put it in the description, but check the description later if you're watching this as a VOD.
If you go to Gamefound and search for Wroth with a W,
yeah.
not with an R, with a
Yes.
W,
Yeah.
Wroth.
This is not about investment plans.
Right,
Yes.
correct. Though we do make a couple jokes in the stretch goal description. Spoiler alert.
Ooh.
Yeah, you can go follow the game right now. And again, it's launching on March 12th at 10 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time.
Get one of those strategist pledges.
Yeah.
So now, there is one last thing we do during the we check for region bonuses. So currently only one of them is tracking, which
Yep,
means you get to attack.
Yep. And is from adjacency, I can't attack deployment zones, so
Nope.
that's out of the question. Is this the only zone I can currently pop?
Correct.
I can't pop.
He would like to
all the
stay
way
here.
across. Would he?
Yes, he
Huh.
would.
I mean, the arrows from my troops don't
Fine.
want to stay there.
Fine.
I get him like that guy at the beginning of.
All right. Well, I had someone there.
Yep. No longer. So we gather up the
Yep.
action dice.
Yeah, with the faction dice, the action dice.
Oh
Whoa!
my gosh.
Wow.
Bloodbath.
Who wants to attack?
Ooh, fights.
I'll take the big yellow arrow.
Yeah,
Okay,
get
the big
out
yellow
of
arrow.
here. Huh. Well, I'm gonna get a fight anyways, but do I want more? No, I wanted to pull. Yeah, let's get the unique one.
Hey, let's all get some fight dice.
Yes.
Fight.
You get one, and then that
Murder
one stays
dice.
out. Now, last place goes to.
Me.
Hey, you get a third
A
die.
bunch of attacks. That's gonna help you become not last place.
Yes, it will.
All right. So again, I have to attack your standard troops before I can attack your elite troops. Is that
No.
That's only for
Only
my
for
faction.
specific elite troops, like your actual information says on your trapper.
Gotcha.
Must be attacked last. The Vena have cauldrons. They also must be attacked last.
Yep.
The Paldain actually have iron wills, which are shields, which have to be attacked first.
Okay. Now walk me through again because I'm bad at this. Clearly, walk me through my decision process between trying to kill your elite versus because the elite troops are going to tick down. Again, they're not rolled. The numbers on them represent their health.
Correct.
I think in every
Yes.
in every instance.
Yes.
So if I attack him twice, if I attack this elite troop twice, I'll just tick it down
Yes.
to 1 health. I can't kill it.
Correct.
Is there any reason I might want to do that versus attack your standard troops?
It's really so the region control is based on quantity individual units. So currently I have 5, correct?
Yep.
And you currently have 7, 8, 9. So currently you're in the lead of this region. The question becomes is will I join? Will I come in? Will I do
Right.
more?
Also, you can always ask what this guy's special.
Yeah, what is that guy's
because he might
special
have-
ability?
Correct. I shared that earlier, but if I attack in a region with him, I steal a Cora.
Right, which I have none of.
Just gonna-
So,
Uh,
oh, I do.
Whoa,
No, I
whoa,
got
whoa.
one at the beginning of the round.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, so
Which you
That-
might do a trap. Maybe.
that guy's not a huge threat to me, and if he decides to move troops in to try and control this area, I do have these traps that he doesn't know what they're going to do available to me. So I'm going to I'll spend this to attack, and I'm going to use my 2x all-seeing
Okay,
die.
so the attacker always gets to choose where the damage goes.
Okay,
So,
so I'm going to kill 2 of your little piddly guys
okay,
because
sounds
I
good.
hate them.
Piddly guys, no.
But they're blue.
Now you're already down 5 standard troops.
That is
And
true.
Again, we mentioned that is a finite resource.
Yep.
So.
If I run out of these, all I have left are my elite troops to recruit.
So I'm absolutely dominating my deployment zone right
You
now.
are dominating. You are
Um,
crushing your deployment zone.
While I'm taking my turn, you might want to. We've got some balance questions for
Is
you.
there enough conflict when playing 1v1? Is there different rules for it? We are still working on what a 1v1, a dueling mode would be. You can just simply play the game as it is, but we are exploring options or like tweaks to what a dueling mode would look like. Whether there's a capture the flag element or whether right now the biggest change when you go to 1v1 is there are 3 dice you draft. So there are more actions per round that individuals get to make.
And then,
Will the 2 character expansions fit in the main box?
Yes. Yes, they will. Full stop. Yep. Even with I mentioned in the intro that the box is actually going to be smaller than what we have here, and also a different aspect ratio. And I haven't talked to you about the art yet. I don't know if that's news to you or not.
That is.
So don't panic, Manny.
Stop screaming at
but yeah,
everybody.
we are again because of just I mean for even I know this sounds weird from the company that produces bricks of plastic. For eco reasons, we are going to make the packaging as small as we can. It's going to be a very svelte and compact package in the end, and be more of it's not going to be quite like a coffin box. It's not going to be quite that narrow, but it'll be shrunk down just a little bit. But yes, all factions will fit in the base game box. The main thing that takes up space for any faction is really the map. That's the biggest thing. Otherwise, it's about 10 dice per faction, I think, and then just a little bag of their colored troops. That's really about it. So yeah, it fits nicely.
I can grab this one real quick. Are there any differences between the levels on the map? Yes, they are considered adjacent to one another based on if they're adjacent to one another. So like there will be icons to denote different levels and their adjacency that were not done in time to have them on
again,
this
we
product, but-
can't say this enough times, but the UX for the game will be improved beyond what you see here. Again, we already have a version of the map that will likely show on the campaign that has some of that iconography on it that makes it easier to visualize where you're moving and that kind of
what
thing.
matters.
Yeah, the biggest difference with the regions, especially as you go into the center of the big island, is it gets more specific. Like going from regions 5 and 6 to 7, this is only adjacent to 2 others. And the top, the 8, is only adjacent to 7.
Yeah.
So it gets the all move, let's say, gets less useful other than moving lots of troops into that region. Right.
Mhm. I did finish my beverage, Manny, so if you'd like to use this
Oh,
cup
sure.
holder, it is now available to you. There you go. Yeah.
Also, like, this is going to be a less contested just because it's harder to get to. Like right now, moves are pretty hard to come by for me personally. I would love to move a bunch of troops because I got a bunch sitting there.
Yeah,
You can, and you can always just sacrifice all those dice if you'd
I
like.
don't want to give someone else that option.
Yeah.
I want to spike, keep it there.
All right, I took my turn, so Santoro, so it is over to you. I believe you have not taken.
There is also a lengthier question that I'll read out loud. Are all factions balanced to be played interchangeably at all player counts, or are certain factions recommended depending on mode and player count?
I would say that they are balanced at each level. I think that there will be the game. I think is relatively simple to learn, but
Yes.
as you play the factions, you will realize that there are things that benefit you to do when you watch opponents go, or earlier in a game, late in a game, against certain other factions. Certain powers or abilities might seem stronger against one faction than another, and I think that kind of leans into the asymmetry. Really,
Have
of the
you
game.
ever designed an asymmetrical game before?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I have.
What's
Really?
it called?
I think it's called Dice Throne.
Never
Is that
heard
what
of
it
it.
is?
Never heard of it.
I think that's what it is.
Yeah. Okay.
So I have used my all-seeing die to get some.
But I'm just one
get
of
some
the
Cora.
designers for that.
Get an extra Cora here. I used my deploy 2 troops to a region I occupy, so I'm shoring up my defenses there.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to spend these 2 Cora to sort of like, fan the flames of this
yeah?
aggression here
Oh,
to
I
make
like
it a little more even.
Come on, man.
I like that.
So I've used my volley. I do have to have both an elegant and a Winden in play to use it, and then I can deal 2 damage to a adjacent region, which is adjacent. And then it is on to Manny.
Okay. I'm actually going to sacrifice both of my dice to do this so that I can move these 2 troops into this region over here. And then I'm going to take this icon, which is like a little sniper. So this is like a aerial sniper shot.
Yeah.
I'm going to go down here, and I'm going to get rid of another one of the Coda runts.
I'm in last, guys. Why?
Right.
Why? So again, when he did that, you probably couldn't see it on camera, but when you took that, you sacrificed both dice to take the action that he wanted. We did move the over on the victory point tracker. We moved the little token. So now which icon are we covering now?
So the move / deploy is covered.
Yes.
Just how this tracker works again is if the icon's covered, you cannot use it, and you move it to that icon when you sacrifice those dice to take that action.
Yep. Okay. So I am going to you moving up there really threw me. I'm just gonna.
You thought I was just going to fight, huh?
Yeah,
You thought,
wanted,
thought I would
that's-
just...
That was kind of our agreement. I'm going to go ahead and attack one more time and kill one of the guys.
Fine.
Okay.
It's all right. It's all right. I'm cool with that.
On to me.
Save my movement for the
All
end.
right. I am going to pop one more Ghillie's good. I want to keep this contested.
Oh, I
because
like it.
Keeps
I
y'all
like-
off my back.
I like what I'm seeing.
Okay.
I
that
used
is all the actions.
Yeah, so
you
I used
spent
all of my dice, so I actually get less things to do this round.
Right. Yeah.
But,
Okay. So now I'm going to
you
use
get to
my
do
all
more.
movement to move.
Yes.
So again, this yellow arrow, what it does, choose a region I occupy. I may move any or all of my troops there to any adjacent region as I see fit. The world is my oyster. However,
this right here is
Regions.
real good. I mean, that's real good too.
Yeah.
I mean, there's
This-
also this and this.
Super appealing.
So again, these can't be moved once they are placed. These
Correct.
are traps. They stay put. That's something that, again, that's unique to these elite troops and the Coda. I'm going to move 2 guys.
I just want
Well,
to say you
Couldn't
you
use your
got a-
deployment zone.
Yeah, you got a big pile in your deployment zone.
Oh,
It
yeah,
can
yeah,
all move with one die.
Deployments.
I forgot that I occupy my deployment zone. That's the disconnect. So
there are 8 regions on the board and 4 deployment zones.
So
just
I'm gonna
for
go
that.
3
you can tell by
there.
each of the markers.
I'm gonna go 3 here.
Hmm.
I'm gonna go 1 here.
Nope.
So it has to
No?
be from one
Oh,
region
sorry.
Yep.
to adjacent, so you can't
So that was there.
double dip.
Sorry, and
You can
then
reinforce. You could just plant that little flag there. And be
Yeah,
like,
And
haha.
that's 2 experience or 2 victory.
Yep. So that's your dude.
that's my dude. And that's my turn.
And you burn that die.
Okay, now we score.
Rest of the dice.
So we're gonna start in region 1. So
2 points.
2
for that
points.
Yep. Region 2,
2
another
points.
2 points.
Oh, catching. Oh,
Region 3, 1 point.
for red as well.
Yep, for red. Region 4, you get
3
your
points.
yep, you get your 3 again. We go to 5, and so this is where you're gonna get your
4 points.
Yep,
Oh yeah,
It's,
4 because of the.
I dominate.
yep.
So
you
he's gonna get
dominate.
4 because of his elite troop that's over there, which has a bonus.
Yep, and here you control, so you get 3.
Wow.
Red.
See, I
Maybe-
played
maybe
dumb at the
left in
beginning.
I got
Right.
left in the dust. It's
They
true.
didn't expect me to.
I didn't.
spread
I was
like a
hoping you
virus.
would just keep doing your your like camp here.
So give me that coveted chip.
Yep.
Like
Although I
Camp
have,
Grizzly.
I will say going last has been quite a boon for both me and then you. Like it's been quite good.
Okay, so we all roll our gray dice again.
Yup.
We are going to put 2 in our deployment zone. We all gain a Cora. Okay. And then we do region bonuses. So right here is the only current region bonus, and you can attack your dudes if you'd like.
Yeah, I'll even the odds.
You want to
of
do
it.
that? Okay. And these 2 up here are not contested, so
This
we
is
roll
interesting.
all the dice.
Just so tucked away and specific.
More violence.
Yep.
Some Cora and a big old move, which I assume Santoro is going to be all over.
Yeah, I probably should.
Sure seems like it.
Ooh. Yeah, because I've got a pile up in my deployment zone, so I have to get that
Okay.
handled.
I'm taking this Cora, so you don't get it.
I'll take a little people to the 2 people.
Damage? More moving.
All
I want to
right.
be moving.
And then violence.
So you get that, and I get the last 2.
Oh, you have a lot of violence.
Okay.
It's scary.
Okay. So let's see.
All right.
So I'm
Go
start.
elves. Go elves.
Let's start by deploying two more folks. Let's pile up.
Okay. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna. I think I'm gonna use my all-seeing die. Pop 2 of these guys out of there.
No, that's not fair.
The
That's
deployment
cheating.
zones are always the same each game. There are these 4 regions. The point tokens are randomly placed at the beginning of each game. Just to grab that question.
Okay. I will use my doppelganger ability, which allows me to do a point of damage in a region I occupy, or I could gain a victory point with it. But I'm going to kill that.
But you're losing.
That'll get more than
Yes.
Listen, I can't.
And then I will attack in a region. And I think, let's go here.
I can't be held responsible for your bad strategic decisions, Manny. This is.
What I really enjoy is people start to get very personal when they get into the battles. They're like, we don't care about him. You and I are going to fight right here over 1 point.
Meanwhile,
I agree
and
with
that
this.
may allow, that may allow Santoro to run. Okay, so my turn.
Yes.
All right, I'm going to bring a Grizzled out onto the board because, so the Grizzled, which I'm going to put in my deployment zone here, before a Grizzled moves into a region, attack that region for 1 damage. Also, when attacking in a region with a Grizzled, deal an additional damage. So they are mean, nasty, and they have high health. They have very high health. They're tough to take down. They're kind of Dakota's signature unit. And from a lore perspective, I believe it's like a ceremonial transformation, correct?
Yeah, it's like a rite of passage for their runts to become grizzled.
Yeah. So I have a Grizzled there. I'm going to use my all-seeing die to... No, I'm not going to yet. I'm going to wait on that until I do something.
While you're thinking it out, I'm going to knock out some questions here.
Sure.
So the dice gods frequently hate me. Is there any dice mitigation? All of the dice, aside from your all-seeing die, you roll your own personal all-seeing die, but otherwise you roll a pool of action dice that are then drafted from. So if
So everybody's
the
at
dice
the
gods
mercy.
hate you, then they will hate the whole table. So,
Yes.
and also you can sacrifice dice to do different actions, albeit at a bad price.
Yeah, if you didn't see that again, at any point you can sacrifice both of your dice to do one
any
action of your
uncovered
choice.
action.
Any uncovered, sorry, not any, but almost any action that's available. Yep. Okay. So I am going to move 2 troops to an adjacent zone, which is I'm going to go here.
Okay.
And before I move, I attack that region for 1, so I'm going to flank this
Correct,
guy.
yes.
So he goes into the graveyard.
Fine.
That's my move.
Okay, well, let's spend my 1 Cora to pop out another one of these fellers.
Okay.
I can put it in any region I occupy. I'm going to put it there. Because then I'm going to use this to move all the folks in my deployment zone.
Man,
This
here it comes.
big old pile here. Let's pop.
You should come fight over here with us.
Yeah, see what happens.
Yeah, how many would that take to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? Woof. Okay, and I'm first player. I'll get annihilated. We're going to pop 3 in here. We're going to pop 3 in here. And I'll pop 2 in here. And shore up here. Then we're going to go 1 more.
You have to start killing.
I know.
things on his
I
sides,
know.
too.
Well, I haven't been able to previously because he's on the other side of the map.
Well, you
Now he's
and
all
then
up
I'll
in my
use
business.
my all-seeing die here as well. So I get to pop.
I mean, that grizzled looks real meaty.
It does look real meaty.
Yeah.
Let's see. Is there a play? Does this have to be the same region attack?
In a region you occupy or adjacent?
But does both of the damage?
Yes,
attacks?
you're targeting
Okay.
one region with 2
Beans. Okay, let's see. Let's just even that out there. One from each of you there.
Oh, it's so nice of you.
I'm all about
What a sweetie.
get a nice end.
Okay, so I'm going to use my once per game special ability, which allows me to gain 10 Cora.
Congrats on the character sheets. They include some of the most inspiring art I've seen in a long time. I wonder who did the art.
Sweet.
If I meet the artist, I will tell him to get out of my zone.
I would check out some gameplay on this. It is an area control game, but it is a good one. It is one for people who don't like those. So,
All right, I am going to start using this Cora to purchase some friends.
Oh yeah, you've used your once per game to gain 10 Cora. Another fun thing to think about with the guild, they have an ability to gain once per game 10 Cora, which you've just seen. Just dump a bunch of boys out.
Yep.
But alternately, there is a set amount of 20 Cora in the game.
Correct.
So if you wanted to be a little stinker,
I could hoard the bank.
All
yes.
of the Cora.
I could definitely hoard that bank. Okay, so I have 2 left. With this, I am going to.
This might be a Ghillie question. That map is quite vibrant. Will it be friendly for people with color blindness? I know that there will be iconography to help out with that a lot.
Yeah. I think the goal will be because we really want to lean into the color scheme of the game, and again, I think the art is just so striking. We don't want to water that down, but we will be doing whatever we can, to make it colorblind friendly. And again, as we've noted a number of times, the UX is all still in development, and the map already has seen some changes since what we got printed. Everything we needed to get everything printed before all of our manufacturers left for Chinese New Year in order to have it here for the campaign. And so we're only just really starting to massage and finesse and put the trim on the UX for the game and that kind of thing. So good question.
Sweet. Okay, so as a part of my turn, I'm going to sacrifice both of my dice to do an all move from my deployment zone. And I'm going to, let's see here. I'm going to pop a dude over there. Right here. 1 there. I will reinforce there. And here. Okay, now I will also use my ability called Doppelganger, which allows me to do damage, attack a region for 1 damage. But if I attack a region with a Crescent in it, I deal damage equal to the number of these guys in the game.
Ooh.
So what I will do...
Currently deployed, right?
Yes, there are currently 3 deployed, which means I do 3 damage in a region. So I'm going to take this.
Oh, man.
Oh, boy, I could take 3 out over here. No, I'm going to take 3 out over here.
Dang.
Okay.
They did.
All right. So that is the end of my turn. And
Yeah. All right. Man. I think I will. I don't have a lot of great options in front of me right now. I am feeling weak and afraid, very afraid. So I'm gonna snipe. So I have my all-seeing die that I'm gonna snipe. I can do 1 damage to any region. I'm gonna do that here to get this guy, your Christen, down to 1. Or is that no? That's a Stellan, sorry. Yeah. But then I have a Grizzled there.
Mm-hmm.
So anytime I attack in that region, I do an extra damage.
Yep. So no, that's specific. That's different than the snipe.
Got it. Different than the snipe. But I do have an attack, and that's going to be my other action. So I'm going to dominate that region. Yeah, and though I may be on my way to losing, that makes me feel good right now.
Yeah, you're currently in second.
I know, but I feel like I don't have it. Like I don't have guys. You know what I mean? I have that region. That's about all I have right now, but that's all right.
Yeah,
that's fine.
Currently, I'm losing. Just to be clear. Okay, so that's the end of the round. Now we score. We go up here. That's red. So that's red. We're actually 3. Tied. So nothing.
No one scores.
No one scores. I score here, and it's 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
And down here, orange wins that for 2.
All right.
Over here, orange, the Elden win again but I'm contesting.
Yep.
So you only get
2 off that one.
Yep.
Because of my victory point bonus.
Yep. Here though, you get your full 4.
See, we let Santoro dawdle over there much longer than we probably should have.
Yes. But you get a nice robust 5, 6 here.
Robusto.
Oof. 17.
Yeah, you get 6 because your coda give you +2 victory points. Oh. It's a 3-point region, and you dominate.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, you killed that man that was in there.
Yep, you did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So that ends the round.
Excellent.
We go back to start the new round. First player marker passes.
We get to roll our gray.
Our gray die.
We each get a Cora.
We each gain a Cora.
Boop. 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 We each deploy 2.
Deploy 2 to our deployment zone.
I'm running out.
And then we roll them
runs out of there.
Dice.
And we roll the action dice.
All right.
A mix.
We'll try to effectively pass that.
There we go.
Oh.
That changed. That changed too. Okay, so this was the 2.
Okay. I'm going first, so...
Wow, a lot of...
I really don't...
The big one.
So I think I'm going to take one of these.
I need Cora. I will take the all movement, one of the all movements. Even though
this is a good situation where like people will think the all move is like the most important die, but as the game progresses, it actually it diminishes in in power.
I'm taking it because now that I have this area firmly controlled, I got to get some guys out of here, and so but for everybody else who are spread out across the map, it's not nearly as appealing for them.
Where's the last? There should be one more die. Did we not roll?
Oh, it's sitting on Ghillie's once per game card.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
Roll it there.
Yep, there
I get the last
one.
Core. Or well, actually, technically, we all had.
Let's redraft.
Okay.
So let's just put them here. I know Ghillie was looking for Cora, so you're...
Yeah, okay. Sorry. So
you were first pick still.
So I'm first pick.
Manny!
Ghillie takes an all move, I take an all move.
Yeah.
It's called hate drafting.
I know.
It's I'm going to do that one.
I will take violence.
Yeah, you got to take it now. He's asking for it.
And violence.
Okay.
Okay. So I am first player. So the first thing I will do...
My once per game ability deals with gathering my Grizzled together and doing like a big powerful move, and so I wanted that extra Korra so that I could get another Grizzled out on the board, and I think Manny knows that. And
I think so. I think I'm trying to stop him.
it's like he knows.
So I'm gonna use my attack die, attacking with my Christen in a region, so I do 3 damage instead of 1.
Put them in the
Oh my
graveyard.
boy.
Here, I'll put them in the
the
graveyard. I got over
collective
here.
graveyard.
Yeah.
I like to keep mine in a
Just make sure you
separate
don't
graveyard.
cheat and take them back.
Yes,
Okay, I am going to. Man, where do I want to move them to? I think I'm going to move. I'm going to use my all move for this region, and I don't know if this is a good strategic move or not, but I'm going to move
Going up the hill.
up the hill because nobody seems to be bothering with that, even though I feel like Santoro probably will.
I was just about to.
I know.
You guys fight on top of the hill. It's fine.
Uh-huh.
And then I actually, because I have my traps here, I think I'm going to move my Grizzled there too. I'm going to leave one guy behind back here. And then I don't think I can do a whole lot in any other. Even though that was an all move, that's what I'm going to stick with. Yeah.
Sounds good. All right.
Yeah, let's see. You have a damage. Ugh.
Oh, you are. This is interesting because again, Manny, it feels like you are massively well positioned, better than everybody else, but you are way behind on the victory points.
I
right
am.
now.
Yes. I am.
Hmm.
And again, we're playing to 40. If you missed that, the end game condition is that once somebody hits 40, that is the final round. So
Just like in life, right?
When you hit
Starts
40,
going downhill, 40.
that's the top of the hill. That is the top of the hill.
that hurts me real bad
You're like
right now.
30, right, Ghillie?
I'm in the middle of a midlife crisis. That was very harsh.
Let's use our all move here to move a pile of boys into here, just enough to take control. Yeah. I think that's me.
Okay.
That's a me.
I am going. I think I'm going to do this. My all-seeing die for 2x on Korra, which gets me 2.
Okay.
And then I will use some of that Korra. I'm going to use 2 of it to snipe this guy out of that little corner there.
Okay. I'm instantly regretting my last action, moving my Grizzled, by the way, because now I'm not going to get a bunch of bonus points down here if I control that at the end of the round. I would get, I get plus. Well, I guess it doesn't really matter because
You're going to gain the +2 here anyways.
Yeah.
And you're still dominating here.
No,
So
you have to control it too.
Just
you have to control. Yeah.
just calm down because I'm about to make your life miserable. All right.
Oh, that is
I'll
true.
make it miserable.
You're about to
right
lose some
back.
stuff.
Yeah. So I'm going to
We're
use
all
my
about
all-seeing
to.
die. Use my all-seeing die here to do. I don't know where to put it. To attack twice in this region, and because I have a Grizzled, it does plus.
That is not the all-seeing die. Do not.
Never.
They do
Okay,
not.
Not on this
It's
icon either?
only this one.
Yeah.
That's okay. Fine.
The action
Fine,
dice,
Manny.
not the all-seeing die.
Fine. Okay. And with that, I'm going to take out 2 of your guys, put them in the graveyard, and then I'm just going to attack in that region as well, which does 2 damage, which will attack this and take him down to 2.
You're no longer controlling that region. I don't know if you saw
Are you
that.
sure?
Yeah.
I think that's how
You had
math.
mentioned. You had
I mean,
That's
mentioned.
how math works.
You had mentioned
let's-
controlling
wait,
it.
oh, wait.
Let's see how the rest
wonder
of
what's gonna
the
happen.
turn goes. So that was the last of your dice, right?
That is the last of my
Okay.
dice. Yes. Sorry.
You still have a dice?
Oh, I
left?
still have a die. Remember, I'm in last place.
Beans.
I get 3 actions. Yay!
Huh. Yeah, that's a pickle, isn't it? I wanted to act last. Dang.
Well, you think about that. Question: any consideration for having future map expansions? Yes, we have. I don't know if Manny is thinking that. We have thought about that, and yes, there may be. There is there is a high degree of map randomness though with the scoring tokens all on their own, and even an additional set of scoring tokens would potentially change things up quite a bit with different region bonuses and that kind of thing. So, yep.
We're going to use our good old once per
Uh-oh.
game to attack each region for 2 damage.
Uh-oh.
So we're going to go... So that's going to die, for sure. That's the only one there. That's going to die, and that's going to tick down for 1. I'm just going to kill one of these outright.
Oh.
And he's using his once per game ability, so he gets to do this once in the whole game.
Yep, so you
that
went around
region, that region, that region. I've not done this one yet.
Nope. Which is
I can't
just,
hit
can't
these
damage
first,
them,
so
yeah.
those are gone.
Create a tie.
My plans are
And
destroyed.
this is the only region I haven't touched yet. Did I? Yeah, I touched that one. I have not touched this one yet. I will also kill this crystal.
No.
I don't like there being that many of them out. They're too good.
Oh.
Then we're gonna use the all-seeing die here to pop 2 damage. Oh.
Oh,
can
there
have
you
those
go.
back.
Oh, your trap's never triggered. Oh, that's
And then we're
unfortunate.
gonna use our movement die to move 2 troops. Or let's do this first. I'm gonna spend my 1 Cora to deploy here, and then I'm gonna move 2 troops there.
Oh, fascinating.
That was brutal.
Okay, well, I will take my last action to attack and clear that zone. Okay, ends the round. Scoring. I gain 3 here.
Okay, up to 11,
I gain 4 here.
to 15. Quickly catching up.
You gain 2.
I gain 2.
2. 3. Sorry, 3 here.
26.
3.
2 to 29.
Ouch. 4.
Oh my
No,
gosh.
5.
3. 4, 5. Yeah, 5. This is no
34.
good. Up here, you guys tie. And nothing.
Oh boy.
Oh, we're getting railroaded here. This is not pleasant.
And so again, my once per game ability again involves my grizzled, and I probably misplayed earlier by buying traps instead of getting a grizzled on the board fairly early to try and because like I can't do.
You can do.
I can do something, but I can't. I was hoping to get like 2 or 3 grizzled on the board to pop this, and I only have 1, and now I gotta. But we're down to the bitter end here, so I probably got to do something pretty.
That's probably next turn.
Yeah.
Probably.
So start of round. This bonus I have, I can't do anything with it. There's no adjacent regions.
And you guys don't get this because you
we
share.
don't get that, and then no one's here yet.
Yep. So there we go. Okay,
we
we
roll.
add our 2 troops, our gray die.
Oh wait, I misread this.
Yeah, I
Goodness.
know.
Okay.
I was
no,
wondering what
Yeah,
what you were saying there.
yeah.
Well, you can do that pretty much anytime you want there, sir. Unless I attack you and steal one of your.
And in fact, this is actually probably
It's-
way better in very early game. I massively wasted that, and just because I don't know how to read. So there we go.
Yeah, it certainly can be good for a burst later, but I think early it's
Yep.
very, very powerful. Starting
Yep.
player rotate
Yep,
properly?
it did.
Okay. And then we roll action dice.
And action dice, sir. Did you roll your gray die there? Okay.
Cora.
It's time to get some Cora, everybody.
Yep.
So what my once per game ability does is I actually get to take all my grizzled that are on my mat and deploy them in regions where I have a just basic troop. A runt is what the codas are called. I should have done that a long time ago. And,
Yeah, probably.
And I'm dumb.
That's
So
fine.
just in case you're looking at this and being like, oh my gosh, the codas seem weak or like whatever. Like there's obviously we're not.
Yeah.
I'm not playing this faction optimally in the least. So yep, there you
Yeah,
go.
it's a classic reading the card explains the card.
So draft, sir.
I will take. I need. Oh, no, I don't really need Cora now because I'm gonna pop my thing. I'll take an attack. I'll take that attack.
Oh, okay.
The 1 attack.
Okay, what are you gonna take?
I don't super care about Cora. I don't. Honestly, all move is still pretty attractive because I'm dumping folks into that
It's
deployment
true.
zone like no one's
I'm
business.
gonna take
And I
this.
know I'm gonna get Cora.
I'll take the move. I'll take that double move.
Okay, and then we dump Cora on across the table.
Absolutely.
But I get 2.
Good.
Oh yeah.
did not move. Did you guys move troops into your deployment zone?
I did.
I did. Yeah. Okay.
All right, Mr. First Player.
All right.
Might
Man,
be good to do that.
I think I want to get one more. I think I only have one zone I can move them to right now.
Well, you could pop them here too. I mean, those are troops on the board, so.
Yeah, that's true. And then I get the.
Fellow there too.
Yep.
And
Okay.
then when
I'm gonna pop this because then
So
when
the-
I move, I can.
Yeah, the
attack.
beauty if you put them here and then you move them, they do a damage when they
So I
enter.
replace 2 troops, they die, right? Or do they go
Yes,
back to me?
yes.
They die. Okay.
No, they've been transformed.
I know the lore.
They've split
I know the
open.
lore. Okay.
There's bears in there.
They're
It's bears all the way down.
Okay, and then I should have got that extra Cora die. Did I move that somewhere? Did I?
What are you talking about? You didn't take a Cora.
Oh, you're in last place, not me.
Oh, I'm very much.
I just
in
feel
last
like I'm
place.
in last.
Strategically in last
Yes,
place.
yeah. I'm
I
trying
just
to
feel-
do. I'm trying to
if
do a
you're-
come
if you're
behind
in-
for seconds. Is what I'm aiming for
yeah.
right now.
If you're in last, you want to be in last by like a little bit.
Yes,
so
yes.
you get the massive
Yeah.
bonus
Okay.
of the extra
I'm
die.
going to move two troops to an adjacent region, and I'm going to move, and they have to move to the same region,
Yes,
correct? Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. So I want this back.
Yeah.
I'm very angry at Santoro for ruining my
So
life.
I
How much
assume
total
you're gonna-
damage
And yep,
do you
I'm
get
going
to
to kill
do
his.
It's just 2, 1 for each.
Yep.
Okay. So
Die,
Winded.
please. Pun intended.
Winded.
Okay.
That's this. Yep.
Okay.
Okay. So I have an all move at Dekura, and I also have a snipe. I've got one little fella hanging out there now. Oh.
We have construction happening out here yet, and so we just heard a loud
Spend a Cora to pop.
crash.
And my fella's there. Hearn. Oh boy, I don't like how beefy the grizzled are. I cannot do anything with that.
Imagine had I played my faction well.
I know, it would be
how
quite
sad you'd
annoying.
feel right now.
Let's do a good old the strangest all move that I'll do, which is to move one fella with it. We're gonna move one guy right into the center.
Hey.
Yeah.
Hey, it's a choice.
It is a choice that I've made. A very good one,
All
I'm
right,
sure.
I'm going to spend these to put Kristen out there. I will then going to spend that to gain Cora back, and then
Okay. I'm going to.
Yeah, this is really not a good gameplay to judge balance, if that's something you're doing. Because, one of our players.
All right, I'm gonna
did
use
the
my
funny
all-seeing.
thing.
I'm gonna use my all-seeing die to pop this guy.
Ugh.
I'm going to then attack. Gosh, I feel like my process right now is between trying to prevent him from scoring, or between trying to score myself, and I think scoring prevention.
so now fun fact: you can't if you attack up here, you only deal 1 because there are no grizzled in that region.
Oh.
So you would
That's
deal
the
2
actual
damage
moving
here.
that
So that's
does
what I got to do. That's what I got to do. Okay, so this guy is gonna die. Okay, I'll attack, and that's my action.
Okay, gain your Cora.
And then hold on.
Oh yeah, you still have. You can lay some traps if you want.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking through.
Yeah, and just consideration in general, which you might want to have actually put an attack here, because I win if I get 6 points,
Yeah, but
and that gives me 3
at the
points
end of the
just
day,
on-
all I care about is beating Manny. So because we engaged in a lot of.
Don't worry, I'm paying attention.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll let it be. We'll let it be. I know.
Sure.
I don't think there's any way to prevent you probably from winning unless Manny and I massively make some huge.
you come
turns here, so-
together.
Yes,
Yeah.
we
It's
joined
the
together
common
to
evil.
beat the stupid elves.
Yeah,
One of my favorite mechanics.
But I
in
will
games.
because I feel like this is likely my last action in the game. I'm going to lay some traps just because
Okay.
I am angry at Santoro and
No, it's
wanna
correct.
Want to go down swinging, swanging.
Oh, that.
Okay. Now.
I don't love that.
got your
I will
snipe.
gain my Cora. I will spend my Cora. I will reinforce here a bit, and then I'm gonna snipe with my all-seeing die anywhere on the map. I don't know. Grizzled Bear's annoying. Let's Just pop that fell off.
Aw.
Nice, easy. All right, nice, easy pop.
Okay, so I am last to go, so I'm going to gain a Cora.
Nice.
And then buy a Christen. I'm going to then move. These two guys are going to go somewhere fun.
Mm-hmm. Like the Bahamas or
I think
Vegas or something.
I think
Yes,
they need to
yes,
hop right here.
Yes.
And then I will
You don't
do
go.
my attack,
Don't let him bully you
which
into
I'll do
that.
that.
That kills all of it, doesn't it?
No, it doesn't. This die doesn't count for.
Oh, yes. I thought you had
it's the
regular
standard black attack die, where I would do 3 damage instead. And that ends the round. So I think I stayed our lives for 1 round. I think.
Okay.
But so
I
up
think I
here,
got it exactly.
I
But
think,
we'll
I
see.
think you might. I get 3.
Yes. 18.
I get 3.
21.
You
Come
get
back.
2.
I get 2?
Yep.
Oh, I definitely got it then.
And
So I
then
get 3.
3.
39.
Oh,
I get 2.
dang it.
Yeah.
31.
So, all right. So
Billy
then
gets
I get 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay. So you get another 5.
Yep. And you get some juicy points here. So
Yeah.
you get 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
Look at that.
Oh boy.
9,
25.
10, 11 for controlling, 12. Or sorry.
Oh, yeah. No, break it up.
Yeah, sorry.
Give
2, 3, 4 for this region for
Okay.
him.
Oh, he just
Oh.
jumped past it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you got your 2 for the last region.
Yep.
So.
Goal
Okay.
accomplished.
And that's the game. So Santoro wins. Again,
You could bump that. You were there. You were at
Was I?
39. You
Oh,
double moved.
I
Don't
already
double
did the
move.
thing. I see.
And,
I wanted to win more.
and I don't know. So I don't know. What time is it right now? It's almost 2. But so between the intro and the teach and explaining a whole lot of things over and over again on stream for PvP, we're done with the game. So again, this is a very snappy. It plays very, very quickly and can be taught easily. Again, much if we had tried to teach you, we'd be done teaching Too Many Bones right now if we had sat down and tried to. And we might be just getting into delving in Elder Scrolls. So.
People
So-
would just be finishing reading their reference sheets.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you'd just be understanding how to play your gear lock. So that's one of my absolute favorite things about this game is how snappy it is, and yet you still get that cool asymmetry with each faction. And so that's PvP. If you have any other questions, you can throw them into the chat, and we might be able to. Manny might be able to tackle them before we jump into solo and co-op. But we're going to take a quick break. Refresh beverages for Manny, and we're going to bring Adam Carlson in to play some co-op with Manny, and me and Santoro are going to peace out of here. So 5 to 10 minute break. We'll be back with solo and co-op. Hope you enjoyed the PvP. And again, if you have questions, throw them into the chat. We'll be back in a few minutes.
see those questions. Can you increase the font on the Q&A by 4.5 points, please?
I'll largely cover the questions as they come in.
We are live.
Yeah.
I want to be able to read.
Are we live?
Yeah.
Are we live? Adam?
Hi.
We are live?
We're live.
Ha
Hello. We're back. It's me, Andrew. Adam
Yep.
has joined us, and Manny is
Hi.
here, the designer of Wroth. This is a stream about Wroth. If you missed the PvP, it is a bit earlier. You can go back. Otherwise, this will be up on our YouTube for, as long as you'll want to watch it. So check it out there. That's the best place to see it. Some stuff up top. This will be at Con of the North. If you happen to be going to Con of the North, it's in Plymouth, so you might not. This will also be in the Hot Games room at Dice Tower West. You can check it out there if you want to play it. That will be the first place that you can really play it, honestly, as just not one of us in this office. So if you're going to Dice Tower West, go to Gamefound Hot Games room and tell them I'll have mine Wroth, is what I say. We are going over solo and solo/co-op. They run on the same system. Adam and Manny will be leading this, but I will be here until I'm needed to take questions as they come in. I think that's about it for my preamble. Thanks for joining us.
Awesome.
Y'all good? Here's the setup.
Get out of here.
Where do you want to start?
Thank you, Andrew. Manny and I will take it from here.
Yeah, I'll take off, I guess.
Perfect. Well, feels good to be at this table playing Wroth again. My goodness. No, this is your second game today already?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so a little bit about solo co-op. Co-op all the way up to 4 players. All 4 modes are very, very similar to each other, actually. The different player count varies depending on the troops and whatnot. But actually, what's really exciting about the solo and co-op is still going to be a little bit of the custom scenario story setup. Do you want to talk a little bit about how we're handling each of the factions in terms of the scenario cards and whatnot?
Sure. Yeah. Each faction, as we stated previously, but I'll show one of the side ones. All factions have a PvP side and the AI co-op side. And so every faction can be played against, whether it's solo or
We'll
co-op.
set it down so they can zoom in and it'll focus. Yep. Okay.
And so, but with this also comes effectively a scenario card. This is basically an event. We're going to be battling against the Alden for this co-op in a 2v1. And within this, we know that the Alden's deployment base can only be regions 1 through 4. And we're going to roll a die for that. Oh, this is your
Perfect.
zoom in.
Thank you.
Okay, perfect. Zoom in. Here. Now, the mission will be successful for the first if they get 30 victory points or deny control of all regions for the Alden at the end of the round. So those are the 2 different things that we're trying to do.
Yeah. Before we get ahead with that, I wanted to share that, each scenario is going to be the story is told from the perspective of the AI.
Mm-hmm.
And as players, we get to choose how many players we want to play with and which factions that we want to play with.
Mm-hmm.
But the common denominator here will be the Alden in this case. And so the Alden has their unique set of rules and setup, and that's what will make this scenario unique. And, if we're not successful, but we chose Uglan and Runan, so if we're not successful with those, we might try a different combination. And, It's just kind of fun to see the strengths and weaknesses and the relationships between the different factions when working together as opposed to PvP. So yes, Manny started laying out. So on the one side of this card will be a little bit of art. There will be story, and that'll just kind of give you a preface of what's happening at that moment in time for the Alden. And then back to this side again. So each scenario has just a few different things that make it different, right? We talked about, first one is the event. So the event is really, let me just take a peek here. I just want to make sure. Right, so the event are the rules as part of the setup. And so you'll read that. in addition to the map above it, will show us specific setup for the different victory points. You'll see on our map that we've already placed the 4 1 point plus the benefit icon. And then the others were randomized, so we went ahead and did that for you. And so then, yep, the mission you talked about. So now, oftentimes there will be a victory point requirement, but also perhaps a different requirement that you can as an alternative victory. And the most fun part, in my opinion, for each faction is they have something called a
Chaos die.
Chaos die. So that is a D8. We've shown them D8 in PvP.
Nope.
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 Okay, D8 is for solo and co-op only. So the D8 will be used for a number of things. Number one, it will help us determine where the AI deployment zone starts. So that'll be rolled in the beginning of the game. And in this case, the Alden specifically, they can only be deployed in regions 1 through 4, as shown on the map. So that's just specific to this scenario, but most of them, it'll be wide open. And so yes, the AI had the deployment zone in the map itself. They would deploy directly to the map. That's what's different. For the players, we still have to deploy on, what do you call it, ground zero?
Yeah, yeah.
Yep, okay. So we still have to work to get our units into play, our troops. The chaos die will be rolled a number of times. We'll talk about that, and then there's a set of instructions that we have to follow upon rolling that. And we recognize that the difficulty for each of the factions, it could be in flux too, because there are strengths and weaknesses. And the Alden, they obviously have weakness and strengths as well, so we'll try and counter that. Let's dive in.
Yep.
Enough talk.
Yes.
It's time to start posturing.
Yes, we're gonna posture.
All right. So, player one, who wants to go first?
You go first.
Okay, so the Runen will go first. You've picked the Uglan. We've set up the Alden. So what's different here is we each get 20 troops in a 2-player game. Sorry, 15 troops in a 2-player game. Yes, take 5 right off.
5.
All right, and the Alden get all 25 troops as the AI. Right, and all of our elite troops are the same, all seeing die. We still have our feats, and the AI's feat is the chaos die. They no longer have the feat card.
Correct.
Right, okay. So, go ahead and give it a roll.
Yep. First, we're going to determine the deployment zone for
That's right.
the AI. So they begin in
1,
region 2.
2.
So we'll mark it.
All right, and then we will actually roll that D8 number of times to what round it is. So it's round 1. That's what this is here, round 1. And we're going to roll and apply the results right off the bat.
Okay. So the
In the
first.
case of the Alden, only the 7 or 8 will come into play for round 1.
Okay.
If you read the card, you'll see that troops will already need to be in play for the first.
Yeah, so I rolled a 1, which is in region order 1 through 8. Regions with 2 or more AI troops move a troop toward region 8, prioritizing elite.
Sure, yeah. But there are no troops just yet, right? So Manny's jumping the gun here.
Oh, I added them to the
Yep.
deployment. Yep, that's.
So step 2, in region order, region number order, carry out the actions on VB trips. So these actions will be carried out, however, there are no troops in play yet. Region number 3, step number 3, each faction gains 1 Quora.
Yep.
And then step number 4, finally, each faction deploys their troops. However, this is the time that we will be adding our starting troops as well for round 1. All right? So we are at 3 troops each. I'll play this side over here. And the AI will always start with 4. Okay, so in co-op, the more players you have, the fewer troops that we actually have in our pool, and the fewer troops that we're going to get into play. This is truly a cooperative effort. We will not be able to overwhelm them unless we work together.
Okay.
Right. And then, in addition to that, we will deploy our 1 that we get per round.
Yep.
Right? So now we're up to 4. However, the AI, even though they started with 4, they will also deploy at the start of each round the number of troops
Per players.
Yeah, per player that we're playing against them. So they start out with 6. So it's already very, very exciting. Okay, so step 5. Again, we're just going through this round turn overview. I assume we have a camera on this. Okay, so each faction rolls their all-seeing die. That includes the AI. So I will roll for them and for me. We'll get that out of the way. We've already talked about what each icon means.
Yep.
Perfect. Okay. And then the action dice.
Yep.
So in this game, every player will have 2 action dice that they will be playing with, no matter the player count. And the AI will get the last remaining die that is unused, rather than having it go to the losing player in PvP.
Yep.
It goes to the AI. So when we choose, it will be very important, because we're going to assess the AI and figure out what they want as well. And we might craft our decisions based on what we think the AI would benefit the least from, right? So this is an interesting role, all right? So we're just going to keep that role, and it's going to be
You draft
player
first.
1 will
Yep.
start the drafting process. I think that disbursement is key early on. I'm going to go ahead and take that from you.
Sounds good. I am going to take this one.
Perfect. And then with the 3 remaining being the same icon,
Yep.
they will effectively be assigned. All right. So
A key thing is this die becomes what the AI does first when
Correct,
it's there,
correct.
when they get to go.
there will be, we'll get there, but
Yep.
when the AI gets their turn, they actually get the number of action dice equal to how many players are playing against.
Yes.
So their turns become much more eventful
Yes.
if there are more opponents, right?
Right on.
Perfect. Okay. Now, yes. I'm just going through this card to make sure I don't miss any steps. Turn begins with first player. Perfect. Okay. Here we go. I'm going to go ahead and start deploying. So I'm going to refer to my player side of the action dice. So choose any region you occupy. Oh.
What are you going to do? What are you going to do?
Right. Right. Sorry, I had a brain fog moment. All right. So yes, I'm gonna go ahead and take these troops from my ground zero, and I'm going to disperse them to any adjacent region. Which actually I have 6 choices, right?
Yep.
So rather than bother them, I'm thinking I would like to maybe establish some control here, and this is dangerous. I'm worried about them being able to damage. So I'm going to stay away from the 3, even though that's a lot of points. And I'm going to take this region here, and I'm going to leave those 2 for you. But you don't have a way of deploying yet. I'm going to come over here. And yeah, there's so many options. I love this. Yeah. All right, and so that used my die. I'm gonna place it over here.
Okay. So I'm actually going to use both of my dice to move on the action track. And that's going to move to here because I want to be able to move troops. So I'm going to take 2 of my troops and put them up here.
Love it, love it. That's a good play. You know, I didn't like either of your icons either, and you know, I think that was the right move. Definitely.
Yeah. No.
Now, we keep going with
They go next, correct?
So after all the players take their turn, the AI will get their turn, and effectively take. And I'm just reading it off of here, but they will actually roll the number of action dice based on how many turns we took.
Yep.
Okay. So after the next round, you've actually saved us from being able to roll the additional action die for the AI. So that was another benefit to your wise decision of cashing them in. All right, so let's go ahead and take their turn. So the first thing that happens is they will do the action die before we look at, but before that, they have a turn overview here. So they spend Cora if possible. So we look at the very first unit, the A, we call it an A, and this unit costs 2. And since they don't have enough, they will not be spending Cora. They're going to save it until they get to purchase an elegant and put it into play. So the first thing they do is that action.
There are no options.
No, because within that region and adjacent to that region, there are no opposing troops. So that's why I didn't place anything there. It saved us. All right, so that action gets used, and there will be one more coming. But this is the time where we check the all-seeing die. Now, this can be used, so we will go ahead and process that. So we're going to get them a Cora. All right, now, in addition to that, I'm going to refer to the all-seeing die for the AI. It gives it an opportunity to spend the Cora. So that will happen immediately. So spend the Cora. So it will take the 2 Cora, and it will...
3. They have 3. They have 3 Cora.
Yes, they gain 2 from the icon. Thank you.
Yep.
Now they will spend... Well, first of all, they'll spend the 2. Let's do it step by step. Spend the 2 to gain the elegant. And we're going to immediately follow the rules on how the elegant comes out. If there are no deployment instructions, it would just go to the region in which they are, their deployment zone.
Yep.
However, in this one it says, okay, so we still deploy it there. Deploy a Lithe troop as well. Am I pronouncing that right?
Yeah, Lithe. Yep.
Lithe. So for this unit, unbelievable. It'll have full health, deploy, plus a Lithe troop. So now they're really doubling down. But we've also purchased the Winden on their behalf because they only cost 1. So now the Winden, when deploying the Winden, place them in a region where the Alden have the most troops, which is region 2. So the Winden will come out. So already they're coming out swinging.
Yep.
Perfect. And that effectively ends their first action plus their all-seeing die. And now, because we took 2 turns, they're going to get 1 more action die. So this one's a little bit of a surprise. But the good news is...
They attacked nothing.
Nothing happened. Perfect. So we will
attacked the air.
We will place these 2 here as a reminder. Actually, they'll only get 1 because you already spent and you have no more actions. However, within the same round, I'm going to continue my next turn. So I have this icon. Now, as it happens, because I'm not there, I can't do anything with that. So I probably should have cashed both my dice in for an icon of choice, but I didn't. Oh, I do have this. Oh, yes. All right, so AI attacks any region for 1 damage. I'm sorry, this is me. Attack any region for 1. So I get to choose. So as an attacking, because we're players, we get to choose after picking the region. We're gonna go for, what do you think?
I mean,
start working on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
That's
so we're gonna hit their elegant for 1, and so we simply tick that down to 2. And I can't use this, so that's been spent. I'm gonna save my Cora, obviously, and so Manny has no. So now the AI will get the last turn of the round, and they get 1 action die. The all-seeing die has already been spent. The action die is because I took an action. So we will follow that direction. AI deploys 1 troop to their deployment zone. They will also disperse this region. Not good. So deploy into deployment
Yep.
zone, disperse. So dispersing is an interesting thing. You know, in PvP, we get free reign to place the troops adjacently wherever we want, right? But fortunately for the AI, it's a little bit more predictable than that. However, we just didn't know they were going to do that. So that was the unpredictability. In this case, there's only one adjacent region. So we won't go into the specifics on how it's done, except to say that all but one will be moving to that one option, adjacent region. So not good. And they're already, okay. I love it.
Yep.
All right, so back to the round overview. So we've effectively finished the round, right? But there are a couple more steps, at least one more step. And that is, this is the time where the victory point would be scored.
Correct.
However,
Normally.
because it is round one.
Yep.
Same thing for solo co-op. We don't actually count the points.
Yep.
All right, so we're still tied for a moment.
Yes.
And we will move right into round two. Perfect. So we'll.
Okay.
We're tied. We're tied.
We're
tied. We're
in
doing
it.
well,
We're
right?
in this. Yes, we're in it.
Yes. So, something new. First of all, we passed that first player token. So, let's see. Yes. Okay. So at the top, we will roll there the D8 for deployment zone.
Okay. 2.
They stay put.
Yep.
And so that's something that can happen. And then they will also roll the chaos die before we do the other things. So this could be bad. And we will process them one at a time. So the 7 means what?
They deploy the next available elite.
Right. So now that the A's are gone, we will be deploying the first B available, which happens to be the Elegant. Again, we're going to follow the directions. When deploying, they go to the deployment zone, which happens to be the spot, plus they get a light troop. So already they're reinforcing. They will roll the chaos die again. It's still getting, yes.
Per number of rounds?
Yep. And that'll be the
5.
last chaos die for this round. 5 means what?
They activate volley.
All right.
Volley means?
Yes. All right, so the Alden will attack a region with the most threat for 2 damage, and then also attack each region adjacent to that one for 1. So it does feel like a volley, right? So the most threat. So it takes a look at the whole board in this particular case. All right? And the most threat is determined by the number of opposing units, but it will also look at our elites as being a value of 3, all the elites. So we're going to take a look at all the threat against the Alden. In this region, we have 2, 2, and 2, and there are no other threat.
Right.
So the highest is actually 2 threat, right?
Yep.
Now, there's a tiebreaker system that's built into place, and that is, if there's more than one region, then it will prioritize the region number per the card that we have. So region 1 will always have the highest priority, and then you look at 2, but in this case, we already have the 2 in region 1. Yep. But if there was no region 1, the region 3 would take a higher priority over region 4, right? Okay, perfect. So 2 damage and then 1 damage to each adjacent region, which we don't have any. So that was unfortunate. However, it could have been worse, right?
Yep.
All right. So now, step 2 for the round. In region number order, carry out the actions on the victory point chips. We weren't able to gain that quota after all. It's kind of a bummer. And then we move over to region 2. So this icon here means the AI will get something going on here. We refer to the action die. So AI deploys 2 troops to AI occupied region and repeat this effect.
So they get to do it twice.
Okay.
They're going to take 2 troops and put them in a region they occupy.
Yep. And we have in parentheses threat. So if there were higher. Okay. Deploys 2 troops to an AI occupied region. So in this case, it looks at the ones that they occupy, and it figures out the threat for each. 0, 0.
Yes.
All right. So again, we go back to that tiebreaker we talked about.
Okay.
Region 2 will get the 2 troops, and then you check it again. Region 2 will get the 2 troops.
Yep. Sounds good.
So effectively, they just reinforce themselves. So that was just for controlling that region. The good news is now I have control of this region, and I get to carry out that icon. It allows me to deal a damage to an adjacent or a region I occupy, but in this case, let me take another shot at the elegant unit. Perfect. So I've done my damage now.
You get to do this one.
Yes, that was mine too. I forgot. All right, so I will get to deploy 2 troops from my deployment zone. I'm sorry, to my deployment zone, or I may instead move. Interesting. I'm going to reinforce this bit here. I think that I just want to get more troops into play here.
Yep.
They're already multiplying quite literally.
Yes.
All right. So now that that step is done, we move on to step 3 on the round. Everybody gains 1 Cora, and that's just a static thing that happens at this step. I've saved up, so now I've got something. Step 4, each faction deploys their troops, however. So for solo co-op, we deploy 1. For the AI, they deploy 2. Now keep in mind that this is a finite resource, even for the AI. So that's why I was tempted to take out the Lithe troops, because when they go away, they're gone. The elites are an unlimited resource, just like for the players.
Okay.
I'm going to get my 1 troop out there before I forget. And now we do the all-seeing die.
Okay.
For them as well. Mine. Sorry, wrong die. AI, me. And then we're going to do the action dice. So we gather up all 5. It's always going to be 5 action dice. And you are player 1 in this case.
Yep.
So you get to pick.
I'm going to take this.
Yep. The AI will never be player 1.
Yep.
The AI always goes last after all the players go. So oh man, that was a nice one. I'm actually going to get that Cora. Although it would be nice, it would be tempting to let them have it, but
Okay.
Perfect. Draft is over. And go ahead and take your action.
Okay. All right. So I will take my 2 Cora, and I'm going to add a Karn. And a Karn allows me to deploy to a region that is enemy controlled. So I am going to put it here, since I can do that. Then I am going to use my 2 damage in a region I occupy or adjacent, and I'm going to attack this region, and we're going to get rid of this one.
That's huge.
And then we're going to get rid of 1.
Yeah, I mean, this is a victory point for them, but a little bit of both. I like it. That was a good play. Okay.
And then I will also
options, and don't forget, if you cash on both, if you don't like either, you can switch it up a little bit.
I only have 1 troop available, so
yes.
I'm going to add 2 troops to my deployment zone.
Sure.
Okay, your turn.
I should have been thinking about what I'm going to do. I'm keeping an eye on my feet. This is interesting. So my feet allows me to get a ram into play, and that allows us to do some damage, which I really like. I'm tempted to do my feet and start cleaning up a little bit. Tempting. I don't want to overplay my hand. I feel like it might be more effective later. I'll save the feet. Okay, so first thing, I'm going to get the Cora right off the bat.
Yep.
See what my options are. So, Stoic, Minor, I'm going to go ahead and start getting what I need. So I'll purchase the Stoic. Stoic will go, I'm just reading here, cannot be damaged by a faction unless that faction has a troop in the same region. Oh, that's nice. The Stoic will go there. I'm going to purchase a Miner as well then. And we're going to place that in a region I occupy.
So
All right, so I'm thinking away from all that threat. And that one will actually allow me to generate more quota. That's cool. All right, and you know, I'm gonna cash these in, and I'm gonna disperse my units.
Sweet.
Okay, I'm gonna take these guys out, get them into play. The Stoic is a nice defensive play. I almost want to protect these guys. So now if it attacks an adjacent, it can't affect my guys. Sorry. The Stoic cannot be targeted.
Correct.
That's
yes.
So I might want to... I'm going to maybe try and get that Stoic moved up in that direction. And I'll just go ahead and reinforce this a little bit.
Okay.
Yes, do you have a way of getting out there?
I do not.
Well, there we go. I mean, that's...
I need your help.
We got to do that.
I need your help.
All right, so perfect. And so I used up my one action. As it turns out, AI will go. So the first thing we process is the action dice. Just referring to the card to double check. So these generally do double of what the player does. Now remember, even though they're not smart and they have tie breaking and an order of operations, what they are strong at is they do more. For every action die, they pretty much do it double of what we do. So in this particular case, it is exactly that. So it will damage a troop in its own region or an adjacent prioritizing threat. So actually, yes,
this would be a bigger
that's
threat.
the threat. So threat 5, threat 3. If they were tied,
Yep.
it would still be this one. So it'll do a damage,
And then
and it will target my elite. It will always,
but it cannot.
because it's the Stoic. Correct. So love it. So now our first casualty. I'm very sad. So this actually goes away permanently. It's a discard pile. Yep. And then it will do the action again, and for threat. So it will do this. This is actually one of the rare times that it won't attack an elite.
Yep.
But man, now we knew what that icon was. I could have prevented that, but you know, it would have just been effectively you, right? All right. So that's been done now. This action. All right, AI attacks any region for 1 damage. Repeat this effect. Okay, so in this particular case, we're looking at all the threat again. And now it's looking at my other region that I control. So it will attack the elite for 1, and then repeat the effect just like that.
So
Ouch! And then it gets 1 more action die because we took 2 actions. Sorry, wrong die. Right? Yes. The mana gets placed back.
So while he
here.
moves that, there's a question: 3v1 co-op, is it 3x the die? No, the number of dice that are rolled, the number of action dice they roll per round is based on the number of players that take a turn. But the all-seeing die is only rolled once and activated once per round. The effect of the die also do not increase based on player count. So they wouldn't deal 6 damage in a 3-player game and 4 in a 2-player game. The die action is static.
Perfect. Thank you for catching that. Are there any other questions that we need to show up on? Okay, perfect. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and process the second action, which is AI deploys 1 troop to the deployment zone, and they will disperse. So same deal here as last time. They are loading up. They are loading up. They are posturing.
They are posturing.
On
Yes.
region 6. So we got to watch out. But I love it. The Khan is brave. They're brave. All right.
So brave.
Or stupid. Yeah. Okay.
Okay,
So, yep.
I go. I will do a damage to a region or an adjacent region, and I'm going to damage this single region out here.
Yes. I
That-
love that.
Stops them from controlling and dominating that one region.
Perfect. So that
This
goes
is
away.
gone.
I don't have any action dice left.
So they
I'm done.
now, the AI will take one action die roll.
That's right. All right.
Ooh.
So, okay. So this one is a doozy.
Yes, this is a
The
big,
good news
big
is
one.
they don't get any additional troops.
Yes.
However, they would disperse the region with the most AI troops in it, and then they would do it again. So one at a time. So now let's talk about disbursement. All right. So this is the region with the most.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay. So the first thing they do is they take a look at the threat around the regions. Okay, so adjacent regions 1, 2, 3, 4, and it will determine where the most threat is, and it will not look at its own. All right, so the highest threat in this particular case is here. So all the elites will go over to the high threat adjacent region,
Okay.
and then the second part of the disbursement is essentially an equal distribution of the remaining troops to the adjacent regions.
Mm-hmm.
So we figure out, it's quick math, but there are 4 adjacent regions, right? So we're going to figure out how many can actually do this fairly. All right. So we've got, if each of the adjacent regions receive 3, that will leave 2 left in the region that it came from.
Yep.
Now, if there was a third, that one, they would stay. If there was a fourth, then 3 more would be, whatever.
Yes.
So 3 will actually come back to,
Yep.
wait, what?
Yes.
Oh, you defeated that?
Yep.
Oh, adjacent.
I
know.
tried to clear that region. So
Adjacent. Ouch. And adjacent. So that was a game changer move right there.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not done yet. All right, so we're going to disperse one more time. So it will take the high, the region with the most troops, which still is 3, 3, 3, 3, 2. This still counts as 2 troops, okay? Because we're not talking about threat.
Yep.
So taking the lowest region number that's tied, in this case, region 2, they will disperse. So all of them will move to the 1 adjacent region. So now you've got them kind of going, oh, but that region's number 3. Let's run back and defend it.
Yep.
All right. So that effectively ends the entire round.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got bad news for you. At the end of round 2, there's going to be some scoring happening.
Yes, there is.
All right. So let's begin with that.
Okay. So we start in region 1, where we
Yep. Just look. Yep.
the Runin dominate, and there's only 2 tokens that represent
Right.
us versus them.
Yep. So the good news is we are working together. It is
Okay.
truly cooperative in terms of gaining points.
So we get 2 points for that.
Yep. Region 2, AI will get 2 points.
2 points.
1 and then dominating.
Yep.
Region 3, unfortunately, I did have control a moment ago.
You did.
But now they do, so they get 1.
Yep.
They're not dominating because I'm present.
We get 2 for region 4. Right
All right,
here.
Region 5, yep.
There.
AI gets 1 plus 1 plus 1.
So 3.
And unfortunately, my Stoic is not even contributing as an elite because it's been outnumbered troop-wise. Over here,
They get
nice try
3.
with the con. So they get 3.
Mm-hmm.
And then they get
3
2
more.
plus 1 for dominating.
Yep.
Great, we're off to a great start. I love it. Okay, this just means our victory will be that much more sweet.
You will,
I
unless
love
we get annihilated. Yes.
Yes. And as a reminder, this one is only to 30 points for either us or the AI. So
Okay.
a little quicker in that way. Yes. Let's see how we do. All right. Start of round 3. We're going to start looking at the icons. I get a Quora. And, sorry. Step 1. You're on it. First is deployment. Thank you.
1. So it
Yep.
moves.
So they'll move over there. Lovely. All right, and we're gonna roll the Alden Chaos die 3 times.
So 5, they activate volley.
Okay, so let's talk about the volley for a second. Volley is attack a region with the most threat for 2 damage. Also attack each region adjacent to that one for 1.
So it's these two.
So
this
it's
is
this one,
Yep.
because it's the lower region count. Now, unfortunately, because they're present.
Yep.
Now, if they weren't there, we
Yep.
would have.
Yep.
So yes, 2, and then adjacent regions for 1. And there are a number of
Up.
adjacent regions.
Up.
Yeah, which means I won't get my choir
Nope.
again. Again, volley.
Volley again.
So we'll look at this one.
Yep. So
Gone. 1.
1.
Okay.
And
last
one more time. Again.
Volley.
So
Okay. Gone. 1. All right. So they've pretty much wiped us out.
almost completely.
We're off to a great start. Yes. This is exciting.
So the number of the regions, there's a question about how do you know the number of the regions? There is a helper card somewhere.
But the region card, yeah.
So
That's what I was...
right here where the die is, there's a little graphic at the top of this card that shows a top-down view of the world. And then there is actually a separate card, and I don't see it on the table here, that actually shows you region 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in a larger card that will tell you use this for AI deployment, that kind of thing.
Check that pile one more time. All right.
No, nothing there. It's
yeah.
around. We have one.
Okay.
Okay.
So let's go ahead and move on to the next. So we're going to carry out the icons. So AI will get something here. We are really not doing too hot.
We're not doing well at all, actually. We're getting beat up bad.
Yes. I think we need
It's
to
not a
start
good
looking at our
it's
feet.
not a good co-op unless you get obliterated.
Yeah. Now, we still have our feet,
I
so
know.
we can make something happen here. But I think I should have done this earlier. I should have done this earlier. All right. Let's not get distracted. So they'll deploy to an AI-occupied region. Prioritizing threat. So 2 here. And then that's it.
Okay.
Repeat
No,
this effect.
one.
Yep. Repeat this effect. All right. Yes.
Okay.
Now we look at this icon. Damage. Bye-bye. Repeat this effect. We're out of here. Nope.
I'm
Okay.
safe. I'm safe. I'm safe.
Yes, you are. You're safe in ground zero. And then we're moving on to, so we each get a quarter.
Okay.
And then now we deploy. Now we re-roll their deployment. AI, they're
we
running
did
out of
there,
troops. They're running out of troops. Not exactly. They're all out there.
Okay, 1.
Maybe we should have focused on their light troops. So that's a strategy that we'll have to try next time.
Yes, yeah, that'd be fun.
Or maybe we can pivot. Yes. So we've got me my Quora. Perfect. All seeing die. I have a few of them here.
Yeah, I got one.
AI player.
Okay.
All right. And action dice. I forgot we have this basket. Why are we rolling out there?
I don't know.
Here we go. We're using the actual dice tray now. Andrew, switch camera. Okay, so we've got some interesting options here. Still a couple of skulls. Yes, I'm player 1. I'm player 1.
Okay, I would like that yellow one.
You would, huh?
I would. I actually have. Did you add one?
Oh, I get to. I forgot about this here. There we go. Okay, but you only get it if I let you have it. So
True
do we
enough.
work together?
True
I
enough.
mean, we probably
I
should.
mean, at this point, we could turn on each other and just start fighting each other. That would work.
Yeah, I'll let you have the yellow one. I need more Quora. I want to double the effect. I'm going to put a whole bunch of elites out there.
Okay.
That's my strategy. All right, so Cora. And you said you want that. I'll let you have it now. And then for the other one, this is tempting. I wonder... Right. Cora! But I won't have any troops out there
No.
for the end of the round. This is brutal. All right, so you get that, and you get that. They're doing some heavy damage too. So the strategy is, let's not deploy anything.
Just
They
let
won't-
just let them win. Just let them win.
I have it. Okay. Yes. Now, first player. Action. Cora. I'll double it. All right, so I get 2. 1, 2. Now I can go ahead and purchase my units. I'm gonna, my goodness sakes. I really want to get the ram out there. Maybe I shouldn't have done that.
You wanted the money.
After moving around to a region, should we try this? Change my mind. We're gonna do something wild, okay? I'm gonna cash this in.
Okay.
Before I do that, I'm gonna purchase. One of them is gonna be a in a region I occupy. No. Let's do 2 stoics. No, 1 stoic. I can only do 1 stoic. And for the minor, I can't even purchase that. Dread. Okay. That's all I got. Those 2. I'm going to cash this in.
It's true. I think the real win condition here is if he has more money than us, then he wins. Yes.
Okay. I'm going to start controlling that region. We need to get some points. But if I maintain control of that, I'm telling you, maybe I should pick a different region. No, this is good. I'm telling you, it's 1, it's 2 for dominance, it's 2 more. Stoic is 4. That's, we got to get on the board. Okay. Enough talk. I'm going to do my feat. Okay. Behold the power of the Runen. All right.
Do it.
Once per game, I may gather a ram, and that's this cool-looking dude, which is also an object. Deploy them to any region and move that ram up to 3 times at no cost. In addition to that, for the direction, after moving a ram, I can attack that region for 1, and also I may move 2 opposing troops from there to a region, to a single adjacent region. Yeah. So I'm going to choose this region, and I'm going to go ahead and... So that's the first of 3 moves at no cost. All right? So I'm going to go ahead and do a damage. And I'm going to push. I don't know. These over here.
Okay.
Now move number 2. This is my feat, so prepare yourself. Damage. And I'm going to push these 2 over here. Move number 3. I get to go back if I went. And I will. Damage. And I'm going to push this troop over here. That was my big play.
Okay.
All right? That was my big play. And what did I even trade that in for? Deployment? 2 times doesn't even help me. Did I play that right? We'll find out. All right, so I can't even use this. Your turn.
That's great. All right.
Wait! It's still my turn. I can do these in any order.
Yes.
Now I have a region I control. So I'm spending and I'm deploying my miner. Go!
All right. My turn. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do is also... No, I'm not do any single region.
Let's see, you've got 8 here. You got 5 over there.
No,
I don't know
2.
how many. Oh, yeah, those 5.
So I have enough to do it. Okay, mine says once per game, gather up to 10 horde troops and deploy them to any single region. So...
Wow. I mean... And then you have that
then I
icon
have
for
this. So
that. And then disperse. Ooh. But you don't want to really disperse into that.
no.
Unless you deploy all of them here.
So yeah, I think... Well, I'd really like to get these out too. But
Yes. That's what you use the disperse icon for. You got to get those guys out. But for if you do your feat, you can do the other 10. Leave those 4 alone.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. You'll get a lot of troops in motion here. You can control both these. And then they're down to only 2 regions.
So.
You can, yeah.
Okay, so we're going to take all 10 of my troops.
So
Now,
yeah.
Unfortunately, I can gather them from the dead pile and from my board. So the longer I wait and the more that are killed, the stronger this becomes because I would effectively gain back extra troops. So, but we're
at a point where we need to make something happen here.
it's fun.
Game's already a third and a half over. You're going there? Oh, I like it. You are posturing region 6.
I don't know if I should do that or not. Maybe I go up here.
I mean, oh, that's interesting.
What if I just hop on top of the hill?
Yes, you could do a 2 times disperse.
Oh, I can 2 times and here and there. Oh, that's cool. Let's do this then. We're gonna go here. You there? Okay.
I'm on pins and needles here.
Okay, and then I will.
Yeah. So with the double.
Yeah, the
All-seeing
2x
die.
the 2x on the all-seeing die allows me to do any one of my action dice twice. Okay, so we will do that.
Okay.
So I'm going to take for this one first, and we're going to go 3 there.
Okay.
Or actually, let's just do 2.
Well, if you have the damage coming,
Oh, right, yeah.
you want to make sure you have control.
Yeah. Okay, but I'm going to do it again. And we're going to go...
You don't need to do that many. What? Just put 1 in the middle.
All right.
Right?
Let's, yeah. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
They have 10. Huh. And then they're about to do some damage.
Yeah.
I don't think you can quite do it. Although, can you deploy?
I can't. I don't have enough resources. So
You can change your mind about that deployment if you want, but I think it's...
yeah, they only
Let them
goes
have
into
this
here.
region.
Yeah.
But you're going to want to move in, no?
All right.
A little bit? No? Okay.
I think I'm good.
All right.
I think I'm good.
Okay.
So now they go.
All right, so that was the our first turns, right?
Mm-hmm.
So first action die out of 2 is damage, and it will do it twice. So this is going to hurt. I'm just letting you know. A region they occupy or adjacent, prioritizing threat. So now you are the highest threat, my friend. Right. So this one actually happens to be 7 as well. However, it's not adjacent.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm safe. Had they been here, they would have tried.
this is
Yes. Okay. But repeat this effect, so it actually checks again. So it
Right.
will recheck
So-
the threat.
So
after
technically
you,
it does 1.
Yep. And because 6
Yep.
is still the highest,
Yep.
then it will go. So sometimes repeating the effect isn't always the same region twice, right?
Yep.
And then it will do lovely, even more. Attacks a region they occupy or adjacent. All right. So again, threat. So this is actually huge in terms of protecting those stuff. So it's not a bad idea. But yeah, 1 2.
So
A region
Now-
for 2 damage, correct. A region for 2, so that's that one.
now
And unfortunately,
this will get hit next. Because they do it twice.
yep,
Well, yeah, this one.
unfortunately.
Gah.
I knew. No. That was a good try, though. Yeah, I mean, and again, what's wild is once we get more comfortable and we understand the game, that's another mistake that we could have prevented.
Yep.
Because all that was information that was open to us.
Yep.
However, this is going to be the surprise factor. It will deploy 1 troop to deployment zone and disperse. Oh,
Oh.
interesting and bad. Very bad. I love it. All right. Oh, and we didn't do the elegant move, did we?
This would happen.
So it should have put the elegant out with a life, and that would have dispersed. Correct. Okay. Now we're up to speed. And wait.
So then I go
Correct.
back to me.
Player 1, I have no action dice. Now you.
Okay, so
Come on.
I think I just.
I mean,
I think so.
yeah, it's the
Yeah.
safest play. I like it.
Okay,
It's so specific.
I attacked, and then I will parasite. And parasite says choose a region you occupy, attack that region for 1 damage. This attack cannot be modified by nameless, so I can't get bonus damage. So I'll remove this guy as well.
Yep. Wow. I mean,
Okay, so now they go once.
yes, that's right. I was just thinking ahead,
Okay.
looking at this. I mean,
Okay, so
love it. Okay. So they will deploy 2 troops to an AI occupied region. Repeat this effect. We let it have that icon so many times. And they just, and then with the elegant, additional live troops
Yep,
deploy.
yep.
So Alden is very, very efficient at getting the live troops out.
it's very true.
So
But now
that's
they're
the other
out.
thing.
Now they're
Yeah.
out.
So that's to our advantage.
They're out of troops.
Wow. So to deploy 2
All right.
and what?
But it doesn't matter. They only
That's
had
it.
1. So
Yep, to the most.
that goes away.
Yes.
now we score.
Wait.
Yep.
Sorry, I'm just reading it through. 2 troops to an AI occupied region. Prioritizing threat. So there's nobody here.
Okay.
They see me as the highest threat, which is 3.
Correct.
Yep. Okay. Now,
Score.
what happens?
Score.
Yep.
Yep.
End of
Okay,
round.
so region 1, we get 2.
2, baby.
Region 2, we get 2.
2 more. I love it. We're catching up. No.
Oh, they get 2.
Okay. This is going to be big.
Yes.
All right. So hang on. So during the VP check, I have a minor in there. So actually, and it's because it's a region I control, I gain +1 Cora. Not only that, but because I'm dominating, I get +2 Cora right now.
Here, take your
So
Cora.
just for
Take
that.
it.
Yes. Well, now I'm catching up.
Okay, so
The region itself, however, yep, the Stoic gains 2 victory points.
okay.
So the minor doesn't give me any victory points. It gives me Cora. The Stoic, that is the bonus, though.
Yep.
So, 4
1.
points.
Yep, 4 points.
4 points. Okay, now we're talking.
Okay.
No! Why did they move into my region? I had control.
Okay.
So they get
2.
1 + 1.
Yep. So 2,
Here, they're dominating. This
Yeah.
is bad.
5, or
6.
6.
So 3 + 1 for dominating.
7.
That's 4, 5, 6. So that's rough. However, good news.
They're dominating for 7. So 3,
1 and 1.
4, 5. Oh, 6. Sorry.
6.
6. I'm wrong.
So
He's right.
math class. Adding was
You're
kindergarten?
right.
Okay.
Okay, but
Dominating
3,
3,
yep.
dominating 3. Well done, Manny. I mean, I'll be honest. I'm feeling pretty good now. Last round looked pretty grim. However, now have you spent your... flip that card over.
Get out of here.
The card is flipped over. Okay, so that shows that we've already spent our feet. Manny prefers to discard it. That's fine too.
I have no troops either.
That is interesting. Neither do the live. The Alden. Yep. However, I am flush
that's
with
pretty
troops.
funny.
I'm flush.
You're flush, yeah.
I need that icon that helps me get them into play more.
Okay, starting round.
Sorry. Oh man, I'm just having so much fun. Okay, yeah, icon. Cora, go.
Or no, first.
Oh yeah. Deployment. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. However, the Alden.
Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Yep.
Okay.
Now chaos die 4 times first before we do. So this is gonna hurt. If they roll,
a lot.
we don't want the low numbers.
Bali.
That's. Oh man, this is gonna hurt.
Right here.
Yes. So high threat is now me.
Yep.
There. It will do 2 damage plus 1. Yep, and actually we get to pick which.
So one here, this one?
Sorry? Oh, the Stoic can't be. Yes.
Yeah, Stoic can't be.
So yes, let's do that. Again.
Okay.
Okay, that was 1.
Yep. Number 2.
Uh-oh.
They move
What happens now?
in regions 1 through 8 with 2 or more AI. They move towards
I'm
number
going to
8.
start looking at region 1, 2, 3. That effect is true. It will move 1 up.
Yes.
So it's effectively trying to make its way to the middle. That's
Yep.
interesting.
So now here they move up.
And then
Here they move up.
and then now it looks at region.
Yep. And then it'll move one more.
So it's not great. Again,
Third.
number 3, 8-0 elite.
For the next available.
So B, there's
yep.
still a B. The Winden will be deployed where the Alden have the most troops. Lovely. Next.
Okay, and
Last
last
roll.
time. Activate volley again.
Yes, so 2 damage. Now that one cannot be
be.
damaged
Yep.
because they don't occupy it.
No
However, boom, boom. Ouch!
Okay.
So mine go right back on the mat as options for me.
Okay.
Interesting.
Okay, Cora.
Yes. So really quick, we get the bonuses
I can't
now.
do that.
You get a Cora for that.
I get a Cora. I
You're getting
can't do
ahead of
that.
me.
I don't have any troops.
You're getting ahead of me. Okay.
They deal.
Stop. Oh, that's yours. Yes. Okay. Or you may instead move 2. So don't forget.
Hmm?
You may instead move 2. No.
No,
No,
wrong
sorry.
one.
That's deploy. Okay. Okay. Sorry. I'm focusing on how we can win this game.
They get this.
Yep. So they will do a damage times 2. 2 occupied or adjacent high threat. So this is 3, 3, 3.
But so this is
Yes, it's the.
which they cannot.
That's huge for being. That's why I put the Stoic there.
Yeah,
I totally planned this
You
out.
did. You totally planned it. I
So
can see
and
that.
it will do the effect again. No damage.
No damage.
There we go. Now we're seeing the Runen posture in region 4. That effect. Right. This is why. Boom. Okay. Now I'm getting guys out there. That's my only unit. I need to get these out. Okay, now back to we each gain 1 quarter. You already did that, but I had not. Okay. All seeing die.
Right.
This is for the. There we go. Me. Ooh, I like it.
Okay.
All right, to the dice tray.
Come on,
Andrew,
nice tray.
here we go.
It's right there. You can see it.
Magic.
Oh.
What? I mean, this game.
It's
We have
okay.
rolled that icon so many times. It's been
okay.
brutal.
It's okay.
It's okay, but it's not okay.
It's okay.
I just look at the damage I can wreak, but I need to get troops
So
out.
this goes to me.
So I'm starting with
No.
obvious. Oh, stop! Don't touch the blue one. Just pull from there. Okay, fine. Yep. Oh, we didn't. I didn't put my guy out there for the start of
me too.
round. Where's the deployment zone?
It's right here. There you go. Good. Okay.
Alright.
I guess I'll do this one.
Yeah. I need. I'm wondering if we should prohibit them from. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. All right.
Okay, so
For
I go
better or for
first.
worse, yes. If we both cash in for something, we can limit the AI to just one set, one turn, literally. Do you want to do the damage? That's fine. The damage is good, but might I recommend not touching the elites?
Yeah,
Let's pivot our strategy.
Yeah, I think we need to not attack them. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
I mean, this one, right?
Yeah, so if I do this
And you
one,
have it. Oh, wow.
I can attack here. And then,
Yeah, this is 2 damage to a region, so make sure you do that to a region that has 2 already in it.
yeah. So I think we leave that alone and just do this.
I think so. Because we can control this region.
I'm also going to add a nameless to my.
Love it.
Okay, your turn.
All right, so I need to decide. So now we know the AI will effectively get 2 turns this round. I think the ram might be kind of, but I need to get it purchased and then I need to move it. So I think the movement is interesting. Oops, what was this icon? This. That's not ideal. Not ideal. Now, if that were not covered, I would definitely entertain disbursement, but I'm going to have to try it. I believe this is our last round.
It's
So we
pretty
got to
close,
maximize this here. I can move 2 and then I can... But if I move 2, it's going to have to be the ram. Then I can do damage. I can do a damage, I can shove 2. And then... Yeah, that works. Okay, I'm going to try and... I'm going to capture this one then. We're going to let them have that region. But we got to do this. Alright, so I purchase a ram for 2. Place it here. I'm going to save this one for now. See what happens. We're going to start with this move. Okay. So I'm going to move 2 to an adjacent region. Yes. Now what's cool about the ram is when moving I get to deal a damage. And actually I'm going to spend my other core and deal a second damage.
Ooh, nice.
And then, as part of the ram's movement, I get to disperse 2 to the same adjacent region if I want. I'm going to do it.
Nice. Let's corral them together.
Yes, suddenly they lost control. I love it.
And you can also, like...
I can do it now. Yes. Okay. So, boom. Let's do that. That's huge. Okay, now
Okay.
they're up.
Yep, there you go.
All right, so I may have just put a target on my back.
Yes.
Because 4 threat is now the new high. Damage to region. Adjacent to our occupy, which is high threat. Okay, let's start. And it will always target the elite. And then it will repeat the effect. Ram gone. Yep, but it did its job.
But it rolls again. Oh, then it does that.
Yes, Cora. And it will now has enough to... Right
here.
Which goes... No! I love it. All right.
Okay. It has no troops, so it can't do anything.
That's huge. That is huge. That's
Yeah.
a perfect roll for us. And that's what we should be making sure that we... When we draft...
Yeah, we
if
need to be
that icon
smarter
was
about
up,
that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That would have been interesting if we forced them to burn through their troops even sooner.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
Okay, so I go,
It's going to be a close game.
and I'm going to...
Yes. Okay.
there you go.
I also have that icon.
So you get...
Woof. I mean, that's not going to help me theoretically, but you don't have... I mean, I don't like this thing. So if it disperses, it can't
Yes.
kick or dominate. So I'm actually going to take that one out.
Okay.
Yes, I love
Okay.
it.
Now they go, and first they check.
It already.
Oh, oh yeah.
My bad.
Sorry.
I didn't move. Yep.
Okay.
So now it rolls out twice.
And then,
Okay, there's the disbursement.
so...
This is really bad. This might have just sealed the game. The last roll of the game. I almost want to cheat and not let them have that icon.
I
just
mean,
to see.
oops, that, no.
I'm not letting them have it. I'm not. But let's be clear.
Uh-huh.
If they did not hit that icon, if they did not get that roll,
We would have done very well this turn. We would have scored a lot of points.
Yeah.
We're about to score like nothing, but we were about to score.
can we do a house rule of re-rolling? We're gonna use it. Wait, no, that's it. You should have rolled in this match.
Oh, that's what it is.
That's where it counts.
That's
So
where it
we're gonna
counts.
roll it. We're gonna roll it. we're gonna process that icon. No. Okay, fine. All right.
All right.
So we lost. But
So,
I really want
disperse.
to know though what we would have scored if
Okay.
they did not.
All right. So we would have got 2, 4, 6, nothing. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
I mean, that
So,
would put us
30.
at 30.
We would have
and
hit
that would
30.
have been enough to win.
Well-
Save whatever they would have gotten, and they would have gotten 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
8, 9, 10. So
32. It would have been 30 to 32
yeah.
if this icon was rolled, or
Yeah.
sorry, this icon, or even this icon. Like half the dice, we would have only lost by 2. And we made some poor choices. Admittedly, we knew it as we
Okay.
played.
Okay. I want
okay.
to see what the actual
So
score
let's see
is.
how bad that
Okay.
last roll
So
was.
these go to highest
High
priority.
threat.
which
So all
is-
3 of them move up there.
Okay, and then
6, 8. Yep. Here. So this is a worst case scenario. Then it does it again.
right, which would be this one.
Yep. 5 troops is the high. Yep. So high threat moves up
At least
there.
one. No, yeah, that's it.
Yep. And then these actually don't disperse because there are
Yep.
too many adjacent regions.
Okay, so now let's score and see what the actual score would be. Okay.
Actual schmaxua. Okay.
Okay, so region 1, we get 2. Over there, they get 2.
I'm feeling good.
Down here, they get 2.
Not so good.
Over here, nothing.
Nope.
Over here,
Region 5, they get,
get
4.
4.
Dominate plus bonus plus, yep. Region 6, they get 4. Region 7, that's us. We get 2.
2.
And then Region 8, they get... Oh, wait. 3 to 3, 0.
0.
0, yes! Unfortunately, they got to past 30,
Yes, they
which
did.
ends the game, and we did not quite do it. But,
You know what is so cool about that is that was literally one die.
yeah,
one die face difference.
So this game is close right up to the end,
Yeah.
honestly.
Yeah, that was
And
great.
one little choice, I think we would have, always.
So,
Okay,
question is,
Q&A.
is co-op the same as PvP where it's a race to 40, or are there other ways of winning? So each AI faction has a card, and that card will give you the mission success parameters. And in this specific against the Alden, it's either first to 30 points, or if we can deny control of all regions for the Alden at the end of a round. So we have to basically dominate, we have to control the whole map. If we can do that at any point, then we automatically win.
What's funny about that, like, looking at denial, even at the end of the game, where they just absolutely dispersed everything, we would have only needed one more troop here, one more troop here, one more troop here, 3 troops there.
Yep.
And effectively, we would have satisfied that condition.
Yep.
So that's something that we weren't really paying attention to, and we will get better at as a team as we play more games.
Yeah.
So
That was a great loss.
it was. It was. And so to kind of reinforce this last question, if you're late to the party here, understand that there will be games that you might end up playing to 40 or loss conditions or other win conditions. We're going to have, some of the AI have where the deployment zone moves in a more methodical way, and you'll have to satisfy in-game round-by-round conditions. So there's a lot of flexibility. There will be objectives, effectively, that are on the mat, and that will become more clear perhaps by the time the campaign launches. We'll kind of show an example of that as well. But it is important to note also that co-op and solo is still a little bit more in development compared to the PvP. PvP was designed first, but also with co-op in mind, you know. But Manny, no, I'm kidding. So it still was designed with solo in mind as well. You know, it's just, but yes, okay. So hopefully the feel was very different from PvP.
So the question, have you considered implementing the region number within the scene of the region for a subtle but recognizable number? I think that's interesting.
Yes.
I think we could probably do that.
With the scene.
So adding like the 1, 2, 3, 4 right onto the map.
I do love it. You know, one of the things that, as far as solo and co-op design, that we are mindful of is, so while some of their actions are predictable, and we want to make sure we have a fair amount of strength for them to counter that predictability, it's also important to have just enough unpredictability, and that's where the chaos die comes in for the most part. But also the deployment zone pivoting, I think, was fun. It added enough flavor. However, that said, it is entirely possible that 1 or 2 regions will have some fun things going on with their deployment zone.
Nice.
So it won't all be the same. Yeah.
Cool.
Definitely. More questions, please. Fire away. And then we'll wrap it up.
Yep.
We'll probably, is Andrew sitting in on one more follow-up?
I'll follow up. I can just give my final details.
Okay. All right. So I think we're probably good to go.
Yeah, so, this game took 70 minutes. A little bit less, actually. Closer to 60 minutes, and it was sort of a teach. So, these games are a little on the quick side. I would say a little bit faster than PvP. Granted, now this mode was to 30 as opposed to 40. If we were playing to 40, we might have had a legitimate chance again. That would have been wild because they were down to 9 light troops.
Yep.
And we targeted the elite early, and we learned that maybe against the Alden, that's not the play. Anyways.
Awesome.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us for our first live play of solo co-op. There was another, right?
Oh, yeah. So it says, when you deploy, can you choose from all the zones or the outer? So when you're looking at the board, it's not the clearest thing at the moment, is that everything on what we would call the ground floor, so it's everything outside of the actual 8 zones. Okay, that's all considered the deployment area. So right now, there's these little like arrow houses. They kind of give the idea that that's where your deployment is, but we actually removed those for the next printing, the current version. So the deployment is, I could put my stuff here or over here or right here. It actually doesn't matter. There is no like singular area for me to put my stuff.
Yeah. The board is very thematic, and we didn't want to add a bunch of labels and words and whatnot to it. The rulebook itself will be very, very clear about what each region is and your abilities within and what's connected and what's not. But Yes, I think that's good.
All right. Is
I
that
know
it?
you might need. Yep. Are you good? Okay. So, anyways, that's the last of the questions. And again, please join us on Discord. We have a Wroth channel, and Manny and I stop in once in a while. You'll also find Shannon there, very active, and we'll answer any other questions that you guys might have. You can also leave them on the YouTube video itself. We'll try and keep an eye on that as well. Manny and Adam out.
See you guys.
Don't forget to posture.
I'm coming in.
All right.
Just to give a final spiel. You can be here for it if you
Yeah,
like.
you can.
But
I'll sit.
yeah.
I'll sit back.
Last details. Campaign's going live on March 12th. Again, this is a prototype, so if anything looked a bit off, feel free to let us know. It is a prototype, even though it looks very nice. So March 12th, when the campaign goes live, 10 a.m. Be
Central.
there. 65 MSRP, but it will be cheaper in the campaign. So head to the campaign to get it at the lowest price. It will have the 5 factions you have seen today in the base box. There are 2 additional expansion factions that are really neat. This game will be playable at Dice Tower West. If you are attending Dice Tower West, head to the Gamefound Hot Games room and tell them I'd like mine Wroth to play that game. It will be there. Otherwise, you can take a look at it if you are in the Plymouth, Minnesota area at Con of the North. You can check it out. We'll have it at the booth to pick up and look at, but not to play. Do that if you're interested there. And if you are a Too Many Bones player, Riffle will be temporarily unlocking not a week from now, next Tuesday. They'll be going live on Tuesday the 20th for 48 hours only. It is a short window, a tight window. Pick them up then if you want them. Last one for Manny. Any chance to sign a barbarian board for me? I am EU based though.
I think you'd have to find me at a convention in order to get a signed barbarian board. I don't really have them like sitting around my house or anything. To be honest,
Yeah.
So.
Are you going to be at Essen this year at all?
I will not be at Essen.
Not be at Essen. So find Manny when he's in the EU, whenever that is. Who knows? Otherwise, come to not the EU as a convention. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great one. Check out the campaign.
All right.
March 12th. And keep waving. I'm going to hit the end.